Hey Stern fans, welcome to Fine Time, the show where you, the fans, get the opportunity to ask questions and interact with your favorite Stern Show staffers, whack packers, and celebrity superfans. I'm your host, Rachel Fine. Now, today's guest has seen and done things that are really unbelievable. He's flown past the rings of Saturn, he's been aboard the mothership, and of course he has had sex with alien women. He's got an amazing vocabulary and a unique voice, and is known across the galaxy as a friend of the Biavians. Some people think he's the real deal. Some people think he's batshit crazy. We think he is the perfect fit for the Stern Show world. Please buy a symbol and join me in saying Okwa Tenjin Wan to Riley Martin. Hello, friend Martin.
Hello, Rachel.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Thank
good
you.
to be here with you today.
Yeah, thanks for being a part of Fine Time. This means a lot to us.
Well, it means a lot to me.
Well, fantastic. We got tons of questions for you. Are you ready to answer some?
Yeah.
The fans had lots to ask.
Okay.
First one comes from Howard H. He asks, it's clear you are underpaid and undervalued. How much are you making now per show, and how much do you think you should be paid per show?
Well, Howard, apparently my show is successful, or I would not be here. I've been here now starting into the 7th year, yet they haven't granted me an extra hour or two per week or something of that nature. And the bull crap that they're doing over and over and over and over, I should think that another hour or two of Riley Martin would be welcomed by my constituents, my listeners, because I do have a great following. But no, I'm not getting paid nearly what I should be paid.
Is there a dollar figure that would make you happy?
Well, my goodness, if they paid me a cost of living, since I started here, the cost of living on everything, it went up like 40%. I didn't ask them to grant me any more money than they would anyone else. However, give me an extra hour or 2 extra hours per week, and I'd be satisfied, even at what the pittance they're paying me now. You see what I mean?
I see. So you're willing to work more, you just, for the same
Yes,
money.
of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question comes from Mark Z. Mark asks, what do you think happened at Roswell?
Roswell, that was... Okay. Do we have a moment on this?
We do. Take it, please.
Ships jump out of what I call quantum windows, that is corridors through space and time. Generally, when they jump out, they are above the stratosphere of a planet and is not affected by the weather factors. This particular ship jumped out of this quantum window into a raging lightning storm. And when it rematerializes, just for a moment, the fusion reactor is offline, allowing the lightning to hit it and bring it down near Roswell. Well, they retrieved the ship, what was left of it, and at least 3 bodies at that time, one of which lived for a period of time after then. Now, these things, if you're watching the Science Channel now and things like this, you'll find that many of these things are coming to light now, even though I wrote this book some 25 years ago.
Next question comes from Mark C. Mark asks, has there ever been a moment of lucidity with you where you thought maybe you made all this crazy shit up, or do you absolutely believe everything that happened to you?
Well, okay. I've been doing this show for 6 years, going on 7. Now, if you have read my book, which was written better than 25 years ago, you would find that many of the things, forward concepts, incidents, and things of this nature that I've said in the book is only now being revealed by military officials, ex-astronauts, etc., etc. And so it is highly unlikely that I could have known these things and what have you. And it is also highly unlikely that I can legibly speak to physicists, archaeologists, scientists, paleontologists, historians with only an 8th grade education and not be shut down, so to speak.
Gotcha. So you're standing by. This is what happened.
Well, of course.
I gotcha. Next question comes from Sean S. Sean asks, if you need money so bad, why not ask your buddy Tan to throw you a few alien credits?
Well, my goodness. If Tan had made me a rich man many, many years ago. Fool that I am. I would not be alive now. And what have you. They have given me the treasure. The treasure is the knowledge of some of this universal equation. And therein lay my fortune, so to speak. It is up to me how I would use it. Would I use it to paint myself a demagogue? Or would I use it to give freely where anyone who works at McDonald's can actually have access to it instead of trying to rob them and things of this nature? I have chosen to do the right thing, and if I don't miss any meals, my dear, I shall remain happy. I have a beautiful wife, you know, and she's sweeter now than she was when I met her. As the day go by, you know what I'm talking about?
Probably the symbol.
So yeah, right. So I am fortunate, and I have a fortune. The fortune is my knowledge, what I would not trade for all the gold and silver in the world. All right.
Sounds like Tim's off the hook. Next question comes from Todd M. Todd asks, what conventional jobs have you held, if any?
Oh, jeez. Construction, road building, bare-knuckle fighting, whiskey making, and for the scientific purposes, I did grow a little herbal essence from time to time, and of course I've worked in various other fields of endeavor, and what have you. I've cleaned buildings, I've janitorial, I've loaded fruit in the fruit, I've gathered fruit, things like this. I've worked all my life, kid, and I've never yet been on the public dole, though I don't know if one day I won't have to, but I never have.
Next question comes from Eric J. Eric asks, now that 12/21/2012 is within a year from now, can you elaborate more on what you think will happen on this date?
Well, I have said on a number of occasions on my show that any conclusion that I completely draw, I will not reveal until around the early May of this year. However, let me lay this on you. Think of this, January 1/1/2012.
Yeah.
Now, take and add those numerals up. All of those, it adds up to 34, 3 and 4, 7.
Okay.
Now, Westerners consider 7 a lucky number, and thus it is. However, have we lived long enough to inadvertently witness the opening of the 7th seal of Armageddon? This remains to be seen. But I tell you now that it is not looking as if man has even beginning to change his evil ways and things of this nature. So this may be the year. Could very well happen, you know.
Next question comes from Dave C. Dave asks, are there currently any aliens living among us? And if so, are any of them famous or well-known public figures?
Well, it's like this. About 32,000 years ago in northern Africa, aliens came down from that fable, which you call Atlantis, looked upon the daughters of men and found them fair, took of them wives. Their sons became old great men of renown. Before that time, mankind was little more than hunter-gatherers, subhuman, so to speak. After that time, they started building great edifices, pyramids, animal husbandry, astronomy, irrigation, things of this nature. And so I tell you that there is no race, creed, or color of man now on the earth that doesn't have some alien genome in their body. You understand? The last of the sub-sapien, the sub-homo erectors, disappeared with the Neanderthal. We are the end product. And yes, the alien is here in our genes.
Jason W. asks, after you were abducted, did the aliens bring you back because you annoyed the hell out of them?
No doubt I did. Annoy them grievously, but they found that somewhat fascinating, that I was crude, that I would crack jokes on them and things of this nature, but they took it in stride because, in essence, the aliens believe it's not what you say, it's what you mean.
Ulana taka pakaratu. Ko omsa laji wan. Dega Yahweh. po umana, lila ponuma, lila ponuma, lila ponuma, kwase, you know.
Yetta F asks, I want to better understand why you use anti-Semitic comments like calling Howard the Golden Jew when you're angry over financial or contractual issues. Particularly as a person of color, I would think you'd have some sensitivity about using slurs of that nature.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced racism personally? And if so, why do you participate in reinforcing such offensive stereotypes?
Well, okay. Is he not a golden Jew? He got lots of money. And is he not cheap from the way he treats me and me alone? You don't have to be a Jew. You don't have to be a Chinaman. You can be anything you want to. And if you maltreat me, I will not kowtow and suck your toes and things of this nature.
I don't think you should suck his toes.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be kind of interesting to see, but why is it that you focus on him being a Jew when you're making
Well,
it seems
my
like a
goodness,
slur.
if he was a Chinaman.
So you would say he's a golden Chinaman?
He's a golden chink.
Wow.
If he is maltreating me in such a manner.
Why not
You
just
understand?
why not just a golden man?
Well, okay, a golden man, pay me, you cheap bastard.
But why not stay with that golden man, cheap bastard? Why go the Jew route? Why go?
Now, in this case, the way I am being hurt requires a refined type of insult, instead of simply saying, "Oh man, why don't you pay me more?" You understand? And if I had my hands on $200 or $300 million and had someone that did a successful show for me, as long as I have, I would have given them something
I hear ya.
that they deserve. You understand?
Yeah.
It is not many of my benefactors are beautiful Jewish people. Why? Because they are beautiful. And they have kept me alive when these people, I couldn't live off of what they're paying me. I couldn't pay rent. I couldn't put gas in my car. I couldn't eat food and all of this. You understand? So until, as much as I love him, he does something right. He is everything derogatory that he makes himself to be in my eyesight, because it is not I who owe him. Mm-hmm.
I got nothing.
Okay.
Next one is from Westplay S. He asks, many people scoff at aliens, but now you've enlightened us with the truth. What about other unexplained phenomena that people laugh off? Sasquatch, the Loch Ness Monster, chupacabras. Can you shed any light on these global mysteries?
Right. Well, Sasquatch lives. I know this because me and my father hunted the creature. And people in the country and the old Indians, they already knew about it all the time. Yes, there is phenomena. There are ghosts, because I have been shown and come to the conclusion without any doubt that the force of life itself is eternal. No religion, regardless of its name, says that you cannot be. It says we can be rewarded, you can be punished, or what have you, but not your God or nobody else's God has said, I can make you not be. You will continue one way or the other, and you will return here many times. And nobody gets away with anything. You understand?
I understand.
Good goes to good, bad goes to bad.
Sasquatch was a yes, Loch Ness Monster?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, chupacabras?
Definitely.
Good deal. I want to thank Riley for taking the time to answer all of the questions that you, the fans, submitted. This was very, very enlightening and interesting.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Remember, please keep sending your questions in. You can tweet them, you can Facebook them, you can send them via email or video submission. And remember, this is your show, so don't screw it up. Until next time, I'm Rachel Fine, and I hope you had a fine time.
I had a fine time, Rachel.
I had a fine time as well, Riley. This was this was something else. I don't even...
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
It's very strange. It's truly, truly strange.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John High and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, it's Gary Dell'Abate, Baba Booey. On Tuesday's wrap-up show, we had Ronnie, the limo driver in, good old Ronnie Munn, talked about his big disaster over the weekend trying to get into Beecher's Madhouse. And Dan, the song parody man, called in. I think he only served to piss Ronnie off more. Here's how it went.
Ron, glad you're here. I was saying before, you kind of got the best of both worlds today, or the best and worst. You were complimented for your professionalism in America's Got Talent and the job you did, but then this whole Beecher thing came up, and next thing you know, you're getting yelled at once again.
Yeah, well, it's part of the game, I guess.
Well, can we figure out, so what happened? You were with that Tiffany Granite chick.
First of all, you guys are quick to throw me under the bus right away when you don't know the whole story.
That's what I'm asking you.
You go by an email that Dan, the song parody man,
we go by an email that Jeff Beecher sent to Dan.
Yeah, well, whatever, dude.
No, but to me,
it's the same difference.
It's not a secondhand story. It was the email, just so you know, was directly written by Beecher.
Okay.
And Beecher sent it to Dan, and Dan forwarded it to us, and actually defended you in it. But
how did he defend me?
He said, I'm pretty sure Ronnie didn't. I'm pretty sure these girls made the reservation, and Ronnie had no knowledge of it.
Yeah, and the girl made. I was told by her, and I know her for 5 years, and I don't think she would lie to me. She made a reservation under her. She told me exactly how she made the reservation. She made the reservation under her own name with some guy named Eric Espinoda, that works there, okay? And that they gave her a table for 8 people if she wanted to come. And I said, and she called me up and she goes, "Would you like to go?" I said, "Yeah, fine." And I met them at the hotel. We had a drink at the bar, and then we go downstairs, and they tell us that the show doesn't start for another 15 minutes. So we went upstairs to the lounge, and we sat there for 15 minutes, and we came back down. When we came back down, we go to the front, and I don't know Beecher. I never met him in my life. I've heard of him. I don't know who he is. So we walk up to this guy that's up front, figuring he's like a host or whatever. He's dressed in a nice suit or tuxedo type thing. And she goes up to him. I didn't say boo. And she goes up to him and says to him, "I'm Tiffany Granith. I'm here. Eric set this all up for us and blah, blah, blah." He goes, "Don't know nothing about it. Got no idea what you're talking about." So she goes to him, "Well, could you get Eric?" So, and he goes, "No, not happening." Just like that. So, if you treat it like shit, you're going to treat somebody back like shit. And that's exactly what we did. And we went, okay, fine. We're fucking leaving. So we left and we went upstairs to the restaurant. And I put something out on Twitter. And so did she.
But wait a second. Where's the point? I mean, was she really saying, "We'll bury you on the radio"? That's what he said. She said.
She might have said that.
Yeah. I mean,
she said, "We'll bury you on the radio," from her radio show. I didn't say I was going to come here on the Stern Show and bury him.
No, I get it.
I don't even know the guy. I didn't know it was him.
So where's this all coming from, Ronnie?
What do you mean, where is it all coming from?
All the backlash that we're talking about. Do you think he busted your balls on purpose, knowing this was going to happen and be part of the show?
Here's what happened. So we go upstairs to the restaurant. We get a table. We sit down. We're having a drink. We're ordering dinner. And a girl comes up, supposedly from Beecher's Madhouse. I don't know if she was a publicist or whatever she was, and came over to the table and said, "I apologize for the inconvenience. I'm sorry. There was a mix-up. There was a mistake." And she said, "Would you like to come back downstairs now and go to the show?" And we said, "No. No, thank you." Well, we didn't say it in those many words. We said it in the way he said it to us. "No, we don't want to go to that show. We don't want to be bothered with you."
So, Ronnie,
and that was it.
Are you mad at Beecher or are you mad at Dan?
I'm not mad at anybody, but don't make it like I put a reservation in Howard's name.
Did you bury them on Twitter? Was that a full Twitter attack or just?
No, I just put down that we went down to the show and we were treated like garbage, like shit. That's exactly what I put, and that was it. I put one tweet out the whole night, and right after that tweet, 10 minutes later, this girl comes up. And it's trying to get us to come back down to the show.
How do you decide?
He didn't put that part in the email. How he sent somebody back upstairs, did he?
Well, maybe he didn't, but he didn't send somebody back upstairs. But he didn't.
Well, somebody from his show came up there.
Do you have a tweet ready if you would have fully buried him?
What do you mean a tweet ready?
How would you have fully buried him?
Joe in Carolina, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, it kind of cracks me up that at this point Ronnie still doesn't realize it's his responsibility that Howard's name not be abused. How many times has this been out there where Ronnie's been accused of abusing his status?
I didn't abuse his name. I didn't even use his name.
Well,
okay?
Joe,
Yeah,
how many times has it happened?
Well, it's happened plenty of times, hasn't it, with the strip joints appearances and everything else?
These strip joint appearances I get hired for, dude. What's your problem with that?
Look,
I get hired for it.
Listen for a second.
Now, I am listening, stupid, because you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I do, because you
You just want to
continually
get
do
your
this,
voice
Ronnie.
on the radio. Go ahead.
Listen,
Be my guest. Go ahead.
You
Go ahead,
continually
idiot.
do this. And no, you're the idiot. That you
No,
can't
you're the
see.
idiot.
You've got 9 people in there telling you you're wrong. It's your responsibility that Howard's name doesn't be abused, and you
I
still don't
didn't
get it. You
use
argue
Howard's
with
name.
everybody.
I didn't even make
Shut
the
up
reservation,
and
moron.
listen. If
Okay?
you listen half the time, maybe you'd learn something. You're too fucking thick.
Okay.
Listen.
And you're smart.
Listen.
Yeah, I can hear how
Listen.
smart you are.
Yeah, well,
Listen. I'm listening.
Okay, listen, midget. The bottom line is this. When everybody tells you you're in the wrong, you never listen. You just argue.
Well, I'm
and
sorry.
argue
This time I was
and
not in
argue.
the wrong. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you are, because it's your responsibility if you're going to go somewhere that Howard's name's not abused. The bottom line, it's your responsibility. You don't get that? Do you not get that?
Did I call and make the reservation? Did I say anything about Howard's name?
If you go there, it's your responsibility. Bottom line.
I'll go away.
Gary, do
Hang up on
you
this
think
fucking guy.
that Joe's right, that even though
No,
Ronnie
he's-
didn't do anything wrong, he bears some responsibility here?
Well, if Ronnie went there with Tiffany, and Tiffany made a reservation, Tiffany said, I made a reservation for me for 8 people, and Ronnie has no idea, then it's not his responsibility. However, I probably, like I said, nothing's so important to me. When you had trouble getting in, I would have gone, you know what, we'll see you later then. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
well, basically.
But I
that's
wouldn't
what we
be.
did.
I wouldn't be. I'll bury you on the radio
but
or
why,
Twitter.
Why? If I'm treated like an animal, why not be? You know, I mean, the guy could have took to me, like I said on the air. He could have took us on the side and listen. This is not happening. I'm sorry. He didn't have to make a whole scene like he did.
Well, he called me Saturday night to ask me if Howard was coming, and I said I don't know, but it doesn't sound. Howard's not a nightclub kind of guy,
right?
And but I think he was so sure that somebody was trying to pull a scam that he was angry,
right?
You know, and so he shows up angry. You show up angry, not to show up, but once you get there, it's angry. Then it's just 2 heads collide.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I said, I didn't even know who the guy was. I've never met him.
Dan, the song
he could have
parody
said,
man.
He could have said to me, "Hey, I'm Beecher. We thought Howard was coming. I'm sorry, but we don't have a table for you."
Dan, you're on the wrap-up show. How you doing?
Yeah, good, Ronnie. I'm so sorry this whole thing went down. If I knew that you guys were going to the show, I would have called them and, made sure you got the full rock star treatment without, anybody having to allegedly use Howard's name to do it.
I don't know who. I didn't know if she used his name or not. I didn't make the reservation.
Yeah, that's why I said that in my email that I don't think that Ronnie had any knowledge of that. But here's my question for you, because Jeff kind of sent us his version of a play-by-play of what happened, and he said that he called the girls out. That he said, we got in touch with Howard and found out he had no intention of coming. You shouldn't have used his name. And at that point, they got belligerent and started. That's when they said, we're going to bury you on the radio. And that's when you told him, and this is his quote, "Go get Jeff Beecher, you loser."
He told Jeff
No,
Beecher.
I said, "Go get Jeff Beecher. You look like a penguin."
Okay, yeah, I saw that part too. Now, these girls, you said that.
Well, first of all, I don't know who Jeff Beecher is. Why didn't Jeff Beecher just say who he was, and maybe we could have talked to like human people instead of him yelling at us like we're some kinds of pieces of shit?
Nobody wears name tags anymore?
Is that how he runs his show? Is that how he runs his people? Well, that's fine. Then I'll talk back to him the same exact way, Dan.
Here's
Okay?
my question. Ronnie,
I don't need his fucking show. He can stick his show in his ass.
Can I ask you a question, though, if it's okay?
Go ahead.
Once he made it clear that he was under the impression that these girls booked the reservation.
Well, how do you know
using
this to
Howard's
begin with?
name.
You weren't even there.
Okay, I'm asking you. Okay, this is how I was told, so you can tell me whether it went down this way or not. At any point, did the guy that you were talking to, regardless of whether you knew he was Beecher or not, say you made the reservation stating that you were bringing Howard and you shouldn't have done that?
He said Howard's people, not Howard.
Okay, so because according to him, because he knew that you were one of Howard's people, but he knew
obviously he didn't say anything to me that I knew who I was or didn't know who I was.
All right,
he made like I was some fucking ordinary asshole off the street, which I am. I'm not saying I'm Howard or I never said anything of the sort. But fucking talk to me like a person and say, hey, listen, I thought Howard was coming. It's not Howard. This is not happening. I'm sorry.
I think he basically...
Don't say, this is it. It's not happening. Get the fuck out of here. Go on your way.
He had just been scammed by these broads. He had just flown back from Vegas to be a victim.
No, he lives
of
in
this
Vegas.
Scam. No, he does not. The show is at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. The show left Vegas 2 years ago.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, so again, the point is he did fly back from Vegas to do this. You got to understand he'd be agitated. He did say to the girls, according to him, you shouldn't have used Howard's name for this. Howard had no intention of coming. At that point, you should have known that these girls may have done something. At that point, you should have turned your anger on these girls for abusing Howard's name rather than turning your anger on him and tweeting out that the show sucks. Now, if you weren't let into the show, how can you send out a tweet saying Beacher's Madhouse show sucks?
No, I said the place is shit. That's what I said.
I looked at your tweet.
I said the place is shit.
Show sucks. Do you want me to
No, I said the show is shit. That's what I said.
Okay, so
when you treat it like shit, you're going to put up something like that show is shit. Okay, the place is shit.
But
you're going to get treated like shit. The place is shit. Okay.
That's an ignorant. You could have done a million different ways.
Dan, if you were at the door, you would maybe read it in a different way. You weren't there. Okay.
All right.
You're his lawyer right now.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, you are. You are.
Ronnie, I wish that I just known that you'd wanted to go, so I could have got you to
I don't need to call you to fucking go, believe me.
I know. If you wanted to go, you obviously needed to call somebody because you didn't get it.
Dude, I wasn't the one who even brought up the idea of going to that place. It was all the girls' idea, not mine. I had nothing to do with it. I was a guest in L.A. They asked me if I wanted to go to a show. I said, fine, I'll meet you at the hotel. That's all I knew. Never been to Beach's Madhouse, and believe me, I will never be there again.
Hey, Dan, would the girls have gotten a table without Howard?
Yeah, sure. I mean, maybe not as nobody. I mean, if they just called and identified myself, we're from Playboy Radio on SiriusXM.com.
I'll use Playboy Radio from now on.
Yeah,
not on .com. They're on regular Sirius Radio.
All right, thanks, Dan. Gary, I think Ronnie sounds like a victim of circumstance here.
Yeah, it sounds like it was a bad communication all around. The question really becomes. It really comes down to, did the girls drop Howard's name saying Howard was coming, or did they drop Howard's name to try to get a better table? And either way, I don't think Ronnie was in on that, so it's really, he's taking a bunch of shit. Like I said, Ronnie, I probably wouldn't have fought with him. I would have just left.
Now, Ronnie, the other thing that Howard brought up with you is on the plane ride there, you had all this locks, and Howard wasn't the first one served, and he said he was a little annoyed that it seemed like,
What do you mean I had all this locks? Well, the girl put out everything out. On the way there, the girl made it like a buffet. You could take whatever you want. On the way back, she served the stewardess served in a different way. She came to everybody and asked. We were at the front of the plane. Howard was at the back of the plane. Now, it's not my decision who she serves. What do you mean? What does that got to do with me now?
Because it sounded like today when Howard was describing it that everyone else was taken care of before he was.
First of all, I was asleep. I didn't get served until after pretty much everybody else was served already. So I don't know what you're talking about, John.
He's only talking about what Howard said today.
I'm talking about what Howard said this morning.
Don was sitting up front. Joe was sitting up front. I was sitting up front. Tony was sitting up front. Okay? I was asleep. I woke up. Everybody else had their food. Joe, Tony, and Don. I don't know if Howard had his food yet. I didn't know if he ate yet.
Okay.
When I woke up, she asked me, would you like something? I said, could I have some bagels and lox, please? And a pineapple juice.
Once again, Gary, Ronnie seems like the victim of circumstance here.
It can happen. It can happen twice.
What? Yeah, like I'm gonna override Howard for food? Like I care? I need to have food first? I don't need to have food first.
What about on the way over there? Was Howard trying to be all quiet and everyone was was there a party going on in the limo there as on the way to America's Got Talent?
No. We had two separate cars.
When Howard wants to be left alone, do people respect that, or does everyone kind of want a piece of
On the first day of going over there, it was me in the back, Joe in the front, the driver, and Tony and Don Buchwalder were in another car.
So it was just you in the back with Howard?
And I said nothing
No
to
Beth?
him. I said nothing to him.
Where was Beth?
Beth didn't go the first day. And the second day, she didn't go with us. She came later on in a different car.
Could you tell that Howard was having a really good time doing the show while you were out there?
He was really up for it. You could see he was all pumped up. He was in a great mood. He was talking to everybody. Usually when Howard's not comfortable, you could see he doesn't want to be bothered. He was having a great time. I think he was really enjoying it.
And how did you deal with the crowd, the Thunderdome crowd? I guess a lot of people were calling you out.
I just didn't listen to it. I ignored it.
Just focused on
just ignored it, and like I got girls putting out on Twitter yesterday. I was the girl 2 rows back behind Howard. I'm yelling at you. I want to get a hug from you, and I ignored them. You know, I'm not there to do that. I'm not there to get a hug. I'm not here to get phone numbers. I'm
hugs are for after the show.
You're all business.
I was all business.
As you should be.
Can I just add something real quick? Touring with Ronnie on the Block Party show, I will say without a shadow of a doubt, he is extremely low maintenance. He's not asking or looking for anything. He's quite the opposite, actually. If we go somewhere, you know, he's usually the first one to shell out money, and you know, he's not that kind of guy. While I would love to sit here and bust his balls relentlessly about it,
good. Well,
I don't want him getting that rap.
I'm glad we're getting that out there. Gary in Pennsylvania, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, good morning. Actually, before I make my point, I just wanted to say how much I enjoyed Memory Lane last week and all throughout the weekend. It was fantastic. You guys did a great job, and so did all the fans that picked the clips.
Thanks. We have fun doing those, Gary.
And also, too, I'd like to ask you guys. You know, Ronnie made a great point. You know, when he was getting his balls busted, Robin was chiming in, and he said, "What about the new Robin? I thought you weren't going to emasculate." And as soon as he brought it up, I felt that she was over cackling evilly, and that was emasculating. And I wonder if you guys agreed with that. And Ronnie, do you agree with that?
Well, let's ask Ronnie first. Ronnie, do you feel like Robin was emasculating you during that?
So Robin has a certain way when she gets on somebody. You could tell by her face whether she means it or not. She gets this very, like, I can't describe her face, but you could tell she's like angry. You could see in her face she's angry when she's telling you she's not getting her point across and you're not agreeing with her. You could see how angry her face gets.
Do you think with you it's personal with Robin?
No, I don't think so. No.
But you think she was mad at you this morning?
Not mad, but she was. I think she was a little bit frustrated that I wasn't agreeing with her, that I should, you know, say I was wrong. But at this point, you know, everybody says I never agree that I'm wrong. But at this point, I'll go to the floor with this one. I had nothing to do with making the arrangements for this thing, with this Beecher thing.
How could you tell the difference between when Robin's angry and when she's frustrated? Like, how do you read her like that?
I don't know. If you go back and look at some of the footage on TV, you could see it in her face how she gets very. I don't know. It's hard to describe. Really
the caller brought up something interesting. The over cackle, which I know Gary in the past would.
No, but see, when she gets to that point where there's no more cackle.
Well,
it's a very like talking down type voice to you, and she gets it in her face also.
She's an angry, condescending, cackleless bitch.
Well, I'm just saying.
I didn't say
Robin.
that.
That was a joke, Robin.
There's times it seems like where she laughs.
No,
really
I thought that like Robin fell off the wagon a little bit today. You know, nobody quit smoking the first time they try. She wants to not emasculate, but it was too hard to resist.
Well, and I know you also took issue with her being okay with Chris Christie lowering the flag for Whitney Houston. You disagree with that?
I do disagree with it. I really think that should be reserved for people who are in the military or people who have made a major contribution. I know she's a famous New Jersey resident, but to me it diminishes when you lower the flag for a guy who won the Medal of Honor. I just don't think that. And by the way, I feel the same way about Clarence Clemens. I love Clarence Clemens, but I'm not sure that the flag should have been lowered for him.
Elliot in Ohio.
So not for black people.
Welcome to the wrap-up show.
Good point, Benji.
Hey, Elliot.
Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, I was wondering, Ronnie was tweeting about the Beecher's Madhouse thing, and he put an X. It was like his only reply. I was wondering if he was trying to be like Howard on America's Got Talent with the Howard's Beach House incident.
I put an X?
Yeah, you just tweeted an X out.
I did? I don't even remember.
Yeah,
that sounds more like an accident.
Yeah.
So you saying Ronnie's trying to be like Howard when he's on Twitter?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You know how his attitude is like that, as far as like how he thinks he's Howard sometimes.
Yeah, right. I always think I'm Howard, of course.
Keep in mind, this is the same guy that tweeted out turmoil, T-E-R-M.
Yeah, what was with that, Ronnie? I know you misspelled it the first time, or did you do that on purpose? Was that kind of...
Did I do it on purpose? No, I didn't do it on purpose. I just put it out there, okay? Sorry.
Well, you have to apologize.
I'm not an English professor. I'm sorry. I write the way I feel like writing, and these people on Twitter just love to rip you apart. So, you know what? It's great. I love it. And I was talking about Shuley anyway. Him and Scott, they're always in turmoil about fucking block party shit.
What were you doing in that coffin, Ron?
Laying in it.
Practicing.
Did that creep you out?
Yeah, really. No.
I did. It seemed so creepy to me.
I don't know. It was just... they had magazines in there.
And,
oh, I hope it happened there when I die.
And Howard was really impressed how you just saw something and bang, that was it for your tattoo. He couldn't do that.
Yeah, but, you know, I love skulls, okay? So I have a skull tattoo on my arm already. So when I saw this particular skull that this guy, he had drawn, drew it himself or whatever you want to say, okay? And he had it in a frame. It was hanging in the place. It wasn't like it was in a book that you pick tattoos out of. It was hanging there as a display thing that it was really cool looking.
I told John, I just came back from a beach vacation, a week in the Dominican, and I'm pretty sure Mary and I are the last people left in free America who don't have ink. I mean, everybody's got fucking tattoos, whether you're 18. I saw like a 60-year-old guy, but he had fresh ink. You know what I mean? He had his Vietnam ink,
I got fresh ink,
his 80s ink, and his fresh ink.
I saw a 60-year-old guy with fresh ink and 2 bracelets on his wrist like a homo. Standing right next to me.
When did you get your first tattoo? How long ago was that?
Howard bought me my first one. That was 15 years ago, at least.
And now he bought you this one as well.
It could be my last.
Will it be your last?
Good possibility.
Oh. Any reason why?
No, I'm just, you know. See, that's what happens when you go into a tattoo place with somebody and you're hanging out. You get the urge, you want to do it, you know. And I saw this particular piece, and the guy said he had never done it before. It was just a piece that he drew. And I said, well, could you tattoo it? And he said, well, yeah, let's do it. And I said, fine, let's do it.
On Wednesday's wrap-up show, Mr. Skin came by after presenting his annual Anatomy Awards, and we got into how he felt about Emmy Rossum and her feelings on winning an award. And then, of course, we talked about the finest nudity on film and what it's like being a skin turn, a skin scout, and everything. It was pure skin sanity. Here's how it went.
The great Mr. Skin, who always delivers, had the Anatomy Awards, talked about his skin scouts, his latest skin innovations.
But
we
was
love Skin.
Was a little shaken by the Emmy Rossum clip.
Yeah, we'll talk to Skin. Well, Skin, real quick, get over here. I want to ask you about that. Do you often get feedback like that from people who have been nominated and or winners?
Not direct feedback like that.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like I said on the air, it was interesting to hear. I don't think she really knew too much about the website. You know, when she was saying, I think you guys were just saying, oh, there's a website where you could see the naked pics. I don't think she understands the breadth of the website.
But wasn't there a bit of discussion after you guys spoke to her, like how could she not know?
Yes. We thought that she was aware and sort of playing it off a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, especially after, I know, you know, Knocked Up did wonders for you brand-wise, but she's got to be aware that something out there like that exists. Maybe not to the extent of what you do and the depth that you go to, but you know, I think any award is a win.
And the funny thing is, we can't say nicer things about Emmy Rossum. I mean, we didn't know too much about her until Shameless, and she was really one of the breakout great stars of 2011, and we're big fans at MrSkin.com.
I love that show, Shameless. I watch that show and I love it, and I think she's really hot, but I also think she's a really good actress, and I think she's really good in it. I thought it was a bit hypocritical when she said, oh, he's monetizing this. I was like, well, you're monetizing your nudity.
Yeah. And she asked me that 12 times if he's monetizing it, by the way, and during the interview. But she was great. I mean, she was a lot of fun. She's beautiful.
She's great on that show.
Really
She
talented
is a
actress.
great actress. That's the thing. You get blindsided by how beautiful she is and how naked she is.
Yeah.
But then you remember she's also a very good actress.
Well, the thing is, I find, like, she's not the hottest chick I've ever seen, but there's something very sexy about her. And she really carries the whole show.
Have you ever had someone accept one of your Anatomy Awards?
No, not yet, and I probably should. And I will say that I get actresses, not actresses you guys probably have heard of, that are very excited to win an Anatomy Award. Like, they'll email me and, you know, say, man, I can't believe it, thanks so much. But it's normally more the B-movie actresses.
I was wondering, like, how does he make the move, Mr. Skin? How do you make the move? Remember how, like, the Razzies got, I think it was Sandra Bullock to come and accept an award.
Yeah.
Like, how do you make the move? Like, if an actress, like if Emmy Rossum came and accepted a Skin Award, wouldn't that make
Where
her
would she come to, Gary?
Well, you just make up a mind. Listen, the first year they did the Razzie Awards was in like a ballroom at the Hollywood Roosevelt. Just,
okay.
It's for press.
Sounds like there's an award show in Chicago that's got to happen. That's what it sounds like to me.
You know what? A lot of people have told me this has potential. I've always kind of shied away from it because I didn't want to, stick it in someone's face. But maybe there's something there.
Oh, you should totally do an award show. You do it for a year or two. Nobody shows up. Then somebody decides. Somebody like Katherine Heigl, who could use some goodwill, decides. Oh, that's really cool. I'll be the cool.
Well, you have
chick
to do
that
a
goes,
nude scene to get an Anatomy Award.
She hasn't done one yet?
She did a movie called Side Effects in 2005 at the 24-minute mark where you could see just a hint of breast. It's so quick. But, she didn't get naked and knocked up, which is almost impossible.
Right, because she's getting knocked up.
Yeah, right.
But you're celebrating their talents. You're not,
100%. That's what I said on the air today. Is like all we do is praise it. We're like, guys, she's beautiful. She's awesome. Check out the show. Check out the nude scenes. It's fantastic.
It's funny because we use this site a lot for the show, and I remember when we had Eliza Dushku on, we talked about
Nude and the Alphabet Killer.
She did this nude scene that I think she's a lot of fun. She's a great guest on the show. But she goes to her locker to change. She takes her shirt. It was a gratuitous scene.
Yeah.
And I think we said it was gratuitous, and she turned around. She's like, "That was totally needed for the script. Have you ever seen it? Is it needed?"
Well, let me just put it to you this way: the word or the movie name Alphabet Killer would never enter any of our minds unless she did that nude scene in the movie.
So it was needed.
Yeah.
But I do have a question for you. And Steve Brandano pointed this out. It seems like you're trending more and more towards TV versus movies.
It's
a
not
lot
me.
of TV awards.
It's not me. It's just the way things are. I mean, if you look back in the 80s, all the nudity came from movies. There wasn't TV shows. Then the 90s, you started to have like Dream On and a couple other shows. Now, with Game of Thrones and Californication. Spartacus.
Yeah.
Spartacus exists just for nudity. It's fantastic. It's on the Starz Network, and that's a big pull for the Starz Network. And it's a great thing because there's still nudity in movies. Not as much maybe in the 90s or the 80s. But when you couple it with all the television nudity combined, it's better than nudity has never been better than it is now.
And by the way, a pioneering show he mentioned, Dream On.
Yes.
Dream On.
There was one scene per
Bankable.
show that was like a slam dunk, hot chick riding him with her tits out.
Catherine Bell, before she was famous, had a topless scene on Dream On. Would blow you away. We have that at our website. We went and taped all those episodes and have that. The Dream On was one of the best sources for skin. Even like Courtney Cox before she was on Friends, she wasn't nude, but she was in
remember
lingerie.
that one. It was a great episode where she invites both the guys back to her room she's going to fuck both of them. But it was almost like Seinfeld with nudity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, shout out to Brian Benben.
HBO always, they went for that, like First and 10. You could always count on the nudity being there. But the Game of Thrones scene you mentioned, Jason and I were kidding about this, like, that scene has absolutely nothing to do. Like, you know what I mean?
It's not
it is
in the book.
so
It's
blatantly
awesome.
gratuitous. As he's explaining, it's the best way to get through exposition in
I
the
was
show.
trying to say on the show today, and that the best lesbian scene with Esme Bianco and Sahara Knight from Game of Thrones is you have this show that is, incredible acting, great writing, but only on HBO would they interrupt that for a 4-minute high-definition lesbo scene where that is one of those scenes that doesn't end. It's fantastic.
Well, during that scene, the male character is giving out important information, so they just needed a way to spice up, whatever his speech was. They're like, oh, well, we'll have him direct lesbians.
Yeah,
while he
by
gets
the way,
speech.
that's coming back in March. That season.
And
2.
in the second book, Daenerys, the character Daenerys, wears she has one breast out the entire time. Like her
Amelia
dress
Clarke?
was, yeah. So that might
I
be
never
coming up.
understand I can never tell what her name is. Like I don't know what to call her. It's the hardest name to pronounce. I just
Daenerys.
How do you pronounce it?
Daenerys.
It's not spelled that way if you just... Yeah,
Danny,
right.
you call her
I was
Danny,
gonna say,
yeah.
I just call her Danny, but
the
that
one with the
Amelia
dragons,
Clarke, she was
that's-
another breakthrough nude comer this year. And you know what? She's a brunette in real life.
What?
She's a brunette in real life. Yeah, she's not blonde. That's all.
Well, we need a curtain shot then later.
Has the chick from Mad Men with the ridiculous sized boobs?
Christina
has she
Hendricks?
done
Don't
any-
look at me. Ask the guy
Has she
over
done
there.
any nudity?
Yeah, why are you asking John? No, she did. Remember that show Firefly?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a scene where she took her bra off and it got close, but it didn't happen. But she's definitely on my top 10 babes that need to do a nude scene.
I got to tell you, when I was doing the book tour, I did Rachel Ray, and she was on before me, and I saw her in the hallway. If you didn't know she was on Mad Men, you would think she was a porn star because she's really short, and her tits are enormous, like ridiculous size. They're just like, she's really a tiny little woman.
if you go to IMDb whenever they have a red carpet event, you know, that you talk about the sex cell, they always put Christina Hendricks on the front page of IMDb with her huge cleavage.
Yeah, but they always put her on because she always has her tits out.
Where do you come up like best coin slot and these other terms? Like, is that your writer in the back, or is it
our writers help obviously? But what it really is going through all the nudity and trying to figure out an angle to get it into the list. But coin slots become like guys talk like, oh, just check out the coin slot. That's become like in the vernacular. So like guys talk about it. Maybe 10, 12 years ago when I was starting this, that not a lot of people said it. So we're working it in. We adjust with the times.
Hey, Will had this question earlier, so I got to know. So, you know, everything is like, it's skintastic and skintacular and all that stuff. So, you know, Jeremy Lin from the New York Knicks, they've been using all these words. Have you picked up any new phrases from the whole Jeremy Lin thing?
No, but I've gotten a kick out of how they're using that because it's kind of the same thing I do with my website. I've had a kick. They joke about like they're running out. It's down to like, there's down to no more puns left.
They have a Lin word generator. If you go to linwords.com, it'll just generate different words where you can stick Lin in. It's funny.
I was waiting for Skinsanity today. I figured that was going to come with the Jeremy Lin, but I love when you do those puns. Steve in Boston, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Excellent. Great great to talk to you, Mr. Skin. Very nice to finally get through to you. And I just had a question about a female actress. Okay, you got to forgive me because I don't recall her name. Amazing breasts, okay? But she was in Godfather Part 2, maybe Gary, you may be able to help me with this. In Godfather Part 2, she was the girl in the theater up on stage that they went to see.
What, in Cuba?
No, when they were young, when De Niro.
Yeah, in Little Italy, they went to that opera. The guy was singing.
Oh, right.
And there was a woman on stage too. But
I don't know. If you had a name, I could help you out.
You know, I've been looking online. I think her name is Laura Loins. I'm really not sure.
I thought he was going to talk.
Sounds like a stripper.
I got to tell you, I thought he was going to talk about one of the great all-time first set of breasts I saw as a kid. Was Michael Corleone's wife in Italy.
Simonetta Stefanelli, yeah.
Those are awesome.
Yeah,
she just takes that top off and just stands there for him to look at.
And they're crazy because it's 1974, so they're real.
Oh, yeah. They party hat look to them, too. They were pointy.
Don't you hate in period movies now when you see a girl with fake breasts? It totally throws me off. You know, if someone took off their top on Boardwalk Empire and had fake boobs. They're
having problems with these movies or TV shows like Spartacus and Mildred Pierce that they did the miniseries where when you do a full frontal scene, you can't have the hardwood floors anymore. So these girls either have to grow out the bush or wear a merkin for the scene. Which makes it tough on us because I could tell body double, but merkin sometimes that's tough to tell.
Major nudity news on the show today that I just want to find out more from you. So you said that Leslie Mann in the movie The Change Up, she had her boobs CGI'd in
post-production. It was something we were very down on at our website because what was so bad about it is the fact that if you were sitting in the theater and saw that, you'd go, oh my God, what a rack.
Right.
The problem is it wasn't her. So at our website, we call that non-nude.
Yeah.
That's something we're going to see more of in the future. It's happened a few times, but not a lot. But in the future, you know how just like I say it's a body double, I'm going to have to say if it's CGI or real.
What tipped you off that it was CGI'd?
It was all over the boards and people
in
the industry.
It?
No, they made coy little remarks about I've never looked better.
Why don't you have it? Well, I don't understand. Like, what's the point of getting an actress to get topless if you're just going to put fake boobs over her? Like, I don't even understand the point of that.
Maybe they couldn't find a better actress with better tits.
want to go over Mr. Levine notes? He's bringing up the girlfriend, by the way. I saw her on the guest list.
Yeah.
Voice is doing well. You know, it premiered after the Super Bowl with like absurd ratings.
I never watched the show. Does he do what you do? Is he a judge?
He's a judge.
Yeah, sort of.
Mentor though, too. Like did like X Factor.
Sternly.
What's up, Adam? Welcome back, sir.
It begins.
I know. I try to stand far back, but
We're rolling deep today.
wow.
Yeah, we got like 500 people here. This is Jordan Felstein, manager extraordinary.
How's it going?
Rolling deep today. Sean Tejas, Gene Hong.
How you doing, man?
Chad Dennis.
Good, man. You? Good, thanks.
Carlene.
Hello, hello.
Of course.
Last but certainly not least.
Yeah, exactly. I don't
One
need to
star.
introduce you.
So, Adam, with everything going on with your success on The Voice, are you going to offer Howard some advice with his America's Got Talent? You know, which is starting up. He's already started some of the judging process. So.
We'll talk about it. It'll be interesting. I can't wait to see like what he thinks about the whole thing. It's pretty crazy.
Cool.
I'm sure he was definitely, because even though he's done everything kind of and can handle anything, I'm sure it's probably different than anything he's ever done before. So.
Right, and he was talking this morning about how this is the first time he's not really in control when he's on a show versus.
Yeah, we gotta let that go right away.
Yeah.
You know, because it's totally. You try to control things, but if you try to control too much, you lose your mind. So it's. Yeah, I can't wait to hear how and this is a little different, you know, because it's not just singing; it's a bunch of different things, and the system is different too. So, but it'd be cool to talk about it.
All right, we'll see you in the studio, man.
Adam Levine is here, but I don't know if he's ready to go. He just got up here. I was just looking at pictures of his girlfriend in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue.
Oh,
Look
really?
at her.
She's a swimsuit model?
Yeah. Very hot.
Or a Sports Illustrated model. They do more than swimsuits.
What's her name?
I don't
What?
know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Is she here?
She's here.
So why don't they put her name?
She's here too?
Because Will's bringing in the note now. Adam wants to come in alone first.
Oh, okay.
And then he
All right.
figures
He knows you'll never speak to him again.
Right. If she comes in, I won't speak to
He
him.
knows the show so well. He's like, I'll come in, and then I'm sure he'll bring her in a little while.
Adam Levine is the lead singer of Maroon 5, and he's also on the show The Voice, which is now...
Judge and mentor on The Voice.
He is now actually... The Voice is tied with American Idol at viewers at 16.1.
Yeah, it's doing really well.
Yeah, doing well. There he is.
And they've
Look at
already
him.
been renewed for another season. Hello.
There you are, man.
He's gorgeous.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
What do you mean he's gorgeous? He's not that hot.
It just came out of me. I couldn't help it.
You get that a lot,
I was
huh?
looking at his ass.
Don't look at his ass. Leave the guy
I
alone.
don't have an ass.
You got a cute ass.
Get out of here.
Do girls think you're cuter now because of The Voice?
I definitely. Do I just talk? There's no mic?
You
It's
got it.
right there. We got like a singer's mic on you.
Shit, wow.
Look, you see right next to your mouth
Right next
is a
to your
mic.
mouth. Right coming down from your... There it is.
Oh, fuck. I feel like I'm in sync or something.
So how you doing? Yeah, right. In Sync, I used to carry one of those little headset mics.
Right.
I could never get down with that. That's
Yeah,
weird.
no, because when you're a singer, you want to hold the microphone, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know who just did that? Is David Lee Roth. I was shocked.
What'd he do?
I wasn't there, but I guess when Van Halen just played, he had one of those things. And
The
I'm like, that's
headphone?
kinda like,
The headset?
Nah, it's like very cool.
Did you go to see those guys when they played?
No, but I heard that it was kind of amazing. I heard
It was. I actually think this is the weird thing about the record business. I think the song Tattoo is a really good song. Have you heard the single?
I haven't the new single. A little bit. I saw the video for a minute.
I thought it was
cool.
really good. I'm a big Van Halen fan.
Would you pass them through? Would you turn around for Van Halen?
Come on.
I would.
Of course I would. Well, I love Ross, too. He was like...
Yeah.
He's just so amazing, you know. He still sounds great, too.
He sounds really good. And the song Tattoo is great.
I
but
keep singing it over and over again. It's a great song.
They always make me happy. I love them here.
But I was reading that the new album or the new single, like no one's buying it, no one cares, no one is paying attention, and...
That's the music industry.
It's just, man, you know what? God bless them. They've been doing it forever. You know what I mean? So it's like... It's tough, dude. I mean, it's just tough. It's tough for anyone to do it.
You know, it's weird. I used to look at rock stars and think, oh my God, that's the one job I'd always want. And now there's been a shift in my psyche because I look at it and I go, what a horrible life, because there's no guarantee. No, it's a great life. Don't get me wrong.
If you get it.
If you get it, but it's almost impossible to maintain it. And it's like,
listen, man, it's so fun. I mean, I have to disagree with you because a lot of people don't appreciate what they have got, regardless of what they do or how successful they are or not. You know, I think the key is kind of if you can make yourself happy in any situation. Because I remember some of the best times of my life, I was like totally broke and wanted to be a musician, and that was my life and my passion. It's always been the same thing.
Right.
And this has all been obviously crazy and incredible, but it's hard. I appreciate it, and if I appreciate it, it's really fun and it's easy to manage, even though you're busy all the time and it's crazy.
I know you appreciate it, but it used to be very different. Like with Maroon 5, with the amount of hits they've had, and the touring and stuff, the record industry used to be so powerful that you would still you would put out an album. Like, I read you're worth $15 million. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but if you were putting out records 20 years ago, you'd probably be worth $80 million.
Yeah, you'd put $150 million.
Yeah, you have to relate it to like back in the day music business compared to now music business.
Right.
I mean, it's funny because it's so crazy. I mean, people used to have. I mean, if you were like a low mid-level band, you definitely had a plane.
Right.
It was crazy, and it was so bloated and completely out of control. I mean, it's kind of better in a way because you're dealing with music.
Right.
So the fact that it got so out of control and people made a lot of mistakes, people died, and it was really excessive. And so, in a way, I feel like we're in an advantage being in it now because we can control it more.
I feel bad for people, young people who are like, sort of now just getting into the music scene because
I wouldn't know what to do.
I know. I remember, like, as a kid, I worshiped bands. I mean, and I worshiped the cover art on the album. I loved the whole record. I knew everything about a band. Now it's kind of like everybody's interchangeable, and
it seems like
it's tough. It's just tough.
Yeah, the top of the charts just changes all the time, and you could have one big hit and then you're gone.
How did you end up working with Christina Aguilera on Moves Like Jagger? Because was that a result of The Voice from you guys just hanging out?
Yeah. Well, it was funny because the whole story behind the song is crazy. It's just how it came about and everything. But
how did it come about? Because I get the sense that it was just like all of a sudden you guys looked at each other. Hey, we're on The Voice. Let's just go in a studio and try something.
That's essentially what happened. I mean, I would have always thought about her just because her voice is so
amazing,
crazy.
Right. She can sing anything, can't she?
Listen, man. She's unbelievable, and so it was. But it was also kind of the synergy of everything kind of coming together with the show and thinking, okay, this does need a female vocal. That was the consensus.
But by the way, when you signed with The Voice, were you initially upset that she was hired for more money than all the other judges? Did that bum you out?
In the very, very beginning, no, because you got to get the show off the ground, and she's Christina fucking Aguilera,
right?
So I was totally fine with that. I was like, okay, well, I'm me and she's her. So
right.
That makes total sense.
She has a big career.
And honestly, the money thing, I mean, we got hooked up and everything's cool, and things have been kind of remedied now because I do feel like the chemistry of the whole team together is so hugely important.
Yeah, I just read that you guys renegotiated or something.
We got big raises and stuff. It was great. And
had you signed for many, many years, and so when you go in and renegotiate, are you sort of behind the eight ball because NBC was probably smart. They signed you for 5 years.
3.
For 3.
Yeah.
And so in the second year, The Voice was a hit the first year, so they probably, to go in and say, I want more money, they could have held you up to the contract, right?
They always can. I mean, you know how that goes down. It's kind of like a good faith thing.
Right.
And, so everything in either live television shows, and everyone wants to be happy and kept happy and everything. So at the end of the day, I'm cool with where we're at, and you can't haggle too much over things like that as far as comparisons are concerned because there's like an intangible thing.
How hard was it for you to decide to do The Voice? Because here you got to be sitting there going, hey, I still have a music career. I got a band, Maroon 5. I want to have my musical credibility. You don't know if the show's going to be a hit. You can end up being a fucking joke, an asterisk in like the biggest rock star mistakes, like Billy Squier rolling around on a floor.
Yeah.
I mean,
when they put it that way, it was a lot scarier. I might have come in here before I made the decision and decided not to do it.
Who decides that you get the offer? How'd you get the offer for The Voice?
Well, it is funny. We came in there, and it was Mark Burnett. I got to give him all the credit in the world because he was really persuasive and kind of came in, and the band was an interesting point at that particular moment. Our third record come out, it was doing by all standards really well, so there was nothing to complain about. Everything was fine. It wasn't nearly as big as the first two, so it's like, okay, this isn't, the singles weren't kind of taking off the way we wanted to. Things were okay, but not great. And
were you starting to feel like it was kind of over for the band?
I wouldn't say that. It was never over. I mean, we can still go tour the whole world and play huge venues and have an amazing time.
Right.
It's more a matter of like, okay, well, I think we need to make a move. We need to do something,
Right.
And this came around at a particularly good time. And Mark was really convincing. The idea was great. I watched the Dutch version of the show. You know,
Right.
did it in Holland. And,
Yeah.
the energy of it was really cool. Names like CeeLo Green started coming up, and Christina, and I didn't know who Blake was.
Were you the first guy to sign?
I think it was like I remember getting confirmation that like I guess CeeLo or Christina was going to sign.
Were you bummed out at first, like when you had to go to the band, and were they enthusiastic? Because Steven Tyler had a fucking nightmare with Aerosmith. Joe Perry was completely freaked out by this.
It wasn't like that. I mean, it was. There was skepticism, definitely, but it wasn't like. You know, I don't think anybody was saying, "Oh God, you're going to ruin all of our rock credibility." You know,
Right,
Maroon
right,
5 is
right.
We're not.
But I mean, but since you're on The Voice, and you're now tied with American Idol in the ratings, 16.1 million viewers, which is awesome, right? I bet you never expected that.
No.
I find the show better than America's Got Talent. It's a little more fun.
American Idol, you mean?
Yeah, American Idol. It's not better than America's Got Talent. Yeah, right.
Nothing's better than America's Got Talent.
Let me tell you, I just did my first taping of America's
I was
Got
gonna
Talent.
ask you, yeah.
It was so fucking fun. I've never had more fun in my life.
Really fun, right?
It is insanely fun.
I knew you were going to love it. It's so funny because when I knew I was coming in here, I was thinking to myself, we got to talk about that whole experience.
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
But getting back to this, you go to the band.
Yeah.
And you've got to say, look, I'm going to now be a judge on a reality show. They don't know what The Voice is, this and that. So some of the guys are freaking
For
out.
Coach over at The Voice. It's a coach.
Right, Coach.
That's
Oh,
what they
is it
tell
Coach?
You. Yeah.
But
mentor.
hasn't it been, I have to think that this has been huge for Maroon 5, right? Like a revival of sorts.
Absolutely. Well, listen, it's funny because doing the show was kind of like the Jagger tune, right? It was, and they actually came at the same time, which was funny. But basically, it came down to this. I've been doing this for, really 18 years in this band with these guys. Right. 10 years of just unbelievable success. And we were at a point where it was a crossroads of sorts. And so we thought, okay, let's just do these two things that could either, it was almost like there was no middle ground. It was like either this is going to catapult us into the stratosphere in a way like never before.
Right.
Or it's going to suck, and people are going to think we're assholes. And how dare you write a song about Mick Jagger, you shithead.
Yeah, right.
And the show tanks, and I want to kill myself.
Right.
It was like there was only really two options, and I'm
So
really
the
happy
song-
that it worked out.
The song kind of evolved because at that point, like right in the beginning, you're saying, hey, as long as I'm doing the show, I might as well do something with Christina Aguilera. So you approach her?
Well, it was a delicate thing. Basically, I keep saying his name because, in all honesty, he was so Mark Burnett was so instrumental in a lot of this.
Even
I'm not
getting
trying
the
to kiss
song
his ass or
together?
anything. I'm just saying, like no, yes. Well, I played him the tune. My car actually. So when my car died, one day we were shooting the.
You wrote
first
the song?
blind auditions. I co-wrote the song with about 500 other people, which I'll tell you about later because that was a first for me.
Right.
I'd never done that before. But I got in the car. He gave me a ride home, and I was like, "Hey man, check this song out." I was really pumped and excited about the song, and he thought, "Oh my God, we got to do this on the show." Blah blah blah, and. So it kind of started with him being a huge champion of the song, which was awesome, and saying we got to do another show, but we got to do it with another coach and all this stuff. And the producers and writers and we all talked about it being a female vocalist on the thing. So hey, okay, obviously we know our choice.
So is Christina tough to get to do this song? I mean, because it seems like she plays hard to get.
No, she was like, yeah, cool.
She goes, cool.
I was gone. I was in like, oh shit. Sorry.
Do you go in the studio with her, or you do it separately?
No, well, this happened usually. Absolutely, I like to always be there. But she was in the States, or she was in L.A., and I was in Asia or something. And so we kind of talked for a minute, and she did. I knew what she, like I said, what's she going to screw up? She's Christina.
This is a sensitive subject with women, but why do you think she got so heavy? Is she upset? Is she what? She used to be so fucking hot. What is that?
To tell you the truth, man.
And her clothes are too tight. Right? Am I right or am I wrong with this, Adam?
Clothes are tight. She likes to wear tight clothes.
Yeah, but
she's clearly
when you're
she clearly
a
likes
plus-size
to talk
woman,
about being comfortable being a woman and snapping her fingers and doing the whole thing.
Yeah, but when you're a plus-size woman, you can't wear the tight clothes anymore. It's just
I
not
don't
happening.
think she's
can do whatever.
plus size.
She's
yet.
plus size.
Yeah, I wouldn't go
it.
that far, actually.
You don't even know what a plus size is.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I know.
Robin, do you think she's over a 12?
She's over a size 12. Adam, what size is she?
I'm keeping my fucking mouth shut.
You got
She's
something
a
good
little
going.
girl. She's not a 12.
She and I have had, obviously we've been at odds a little bit, but she and I are cool. I was going to tell you, I was like, we don't spend that much time together. Like a lot of it's
But
like,
the odds, this is a funny thing you bring up because now I'm on America's Got Talent. and I walked in. I've spoken about it for about an hour and a half this morning, how much fucking fun I've had. And the fans are going to come in. We have this audience, so it's great. It's like the Thunderdome in there. And it was just a blast. And I really enjoy my co-judges, Howie Mandel and Sharon Osbourne. And
well, you know Sharon probably. You know both of them really.
I know them really well, and we just had a blast. So I'm thinking. The rumor was that Christina would come in and then make you guys wait for like hours or something. And that would make me, I would go mental.
I did a little in the beginning. I did in the beginning. I mean, it drove me crazy.
How do you deal with that?
You just don't, it doesn't bother you anymore. First of all,
she's still doing it?
Well, first of all, let me back up a second.
She hasn't changed.
Hold on a minute. Let me back up a minute so I don't get myself in trouble.
She was eating.
No, stop it.
I'm kidding.
She, in the beginning, she was late and shit, and then like she stopped doing it, and it wasn't a big deal. It was over. It was fine. It wasn't.
Did you talk to her?
It doesn't happen anymore at all.
Did you talk to her about it?
I didn't really. She and I had like, a thing in the beginning where it was a little
sexual tension?
No, not sex. And by the way, everyone says that. No, not at all.
You don't think she's into you?
That was never. Absolutely not. That was never part of anything. It was more just like we bickered, but it's done, and she's cool, and we're cool, and and she's never late anymore. So.
When you bicker because now that I'm on one of these shows, I totally get how closely you work with everyone.
Yeah.
If you bicker, someone's got to come in and sort of broker this thing and help to negotiate the peace. I mean,
yeah, probably. I mean, listen, it never got to the point where it was so. Also, well, the difference though between the two shows that we do is that on our show we're competing for someone to be on our team.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's a lot more gnarly. I guarantee you there would be a lot more bickering if you guys were doing that.
Oh, we had plenty of bickering.
Yeah,
we
sure.
really did.
I love the fact that you all know each other too, and you're all so cool. It seems like
we had instant.
You guys had to get to know each other, didn't you? You didn't really know.
I knew CeeLo.
Uh-huh.
I had met CeeLo a few times. He's the friggin' best dude.
Seems like a good dude.
Has he been here yet?
No.
I don't think so. Maybe
you got to get him in here.
Yeah.
He'll be great here, yeah.
Yeah, he seems like a genuinely nice guy. The country guy seems nice too, but I don't like his music.
I didn't know Blake at all. I was when I first signed up for the show, I was when Blake Shelton's going to do it too. I was like, cool, like who's that? Here's what I love so much about that guy. He should come in here too. You'd have a blast with him because he kind of.
I think he benefited the most from the show. Because no one knew who the fuck he was.
I think we all benefited a lot.
I'm saying
no one necessarily knew. He was a country guy. He was very kind of in that insulated country world. But what I love about Blake is that he totally demolishes all stereotypes about country artists.
Right.
Super liberal. Really, I mean, he hunts and shit, which is crazy. But he sends me pictures of shit he kills.
To do that, yeah.
Send me a picture of a skunk with an arrow through its head. He'll text it to me. I'll be like, dude, come on, man.
Oh, wow.
Come on.
Are you friendly with these guys now? Would you get together with them outside of the show?
So close.
Really?
And obviously, with guys, it's different. Christina is a little more guarded because she's a girl, and she's the only girl.
So she's the one that's separate from you guys. But New Year's Eve, you were with Blake Shelton, his wife, and Kelly Clarkson was in that
Kelly
group.
Clarkson, yeah.
Where do you go New Year's Eve to be together?
We were in a funny place on New Year's Eve. We were in Tisha, or where the fuck were we? Can someone tell me where my friends are all in there.
You don't know you're like me. You don't know where you are.
I never know where I am.
Right.
Like Houston or just outside of Houston or somewhere in Texas.
This was at his home?
No, we did a show at a casino. It was just like kind of a money gig.
I see.
But
what do you mean by a money gig?
Like a gig that we would not necessarily go out of our way to play on New Year's Eve unless we made a lot of money.
When you say a lot of money, everyone gets what, $1 million?
I'm not gonna say.
Tell me, I'm comfortable with it.
A bunch of dough.
I'm comfortable with you telling me.
It was a very, very lucrative show. Let's just leave it at that.
Is it $1 million?
Less.
Less.
But a lot still.
But over 500,000.
I mean, it's a bunch of dough. Let's go on.
Wow.
Move on.
What are you worth now?
Oh, like $1 billion.
Are you worth over $15 million?
I have like $7.
All right.
But hold on, I'm getting sidetracked. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Where you were on New Year's.
Oh yeah. Oh, so wait, this is great. So Blake, who is the greatest, he was there with Kelly and his wife, and he has a ranch, right?
Right.
He has a ranch like 30 minutes outside of where we played. So I thought to myself, oh, this is the one seriously redeeming quality of this night, which is we can go back to his place and have a fun time.
Right.
And he lives on he's got like a jillion acres in the middle of nowhere, and he lives in Tishomingo, Oklahoma. So we spent the night, me and my girlfriend spent the night at his place. It's so different than anything you could possibly ever experience because it's just straight up country, right?
What do you mean?
He just he lives in this like metal shack.
Oh God!
When I say,
does he have slaves?
No, I don't think so. I didn't see any.
I think they still allow that there.
Yeah, and he could if he wanted to. But
it's a metal shack. I would think a guy like that would have tons of dough, and
he does. But this is why I love him. It's because he's got.
He's keeping
tons
it real.
of dough, but he keeps it so real. But it's funny because you walk in and it's just literally made out of like metal, and you're like, cool, cool, and it's all it's like a tiny. It's like not tiny. It's like a 3,000 square foot shack, and his wife hates it. His wife's like, when you build a house, you son of a bitch, like you're fucking rich. What's wrong with you? But he has like this. You walk in and it's just overwhelming amounts of deer heads and like anything you could kill in the area is dead and like in his living room.
And like, what are you, like a vegetarian and you don't even kill animals?
I'm not weird like that. I don't give a shit. But I it was just it was a funny 2-day kind of vacation.
And what is Kelly Clarkson doing in that group? What's her story?
She recorded with a country artist not too long ago.
Yeah, Jason Aldean.
So she's friends there too. Hey, did he have any like Jews heads on the?
They were talking about maybe wanting one.
There aren't any Jews in Oklahoma, so he hasn't shot one yet.
I was still getting a little scared.
Right.
He gave me a 5-minute head start and told me to run out into the...
So Kelly Clarkson's in with that group?
Yeah, well,
is she a
was
cool
staying.
chick?
She's great. She's super great and so talented.
What do musicians do when they hang together? Do they ever do a sing along, or do you ever start jamming all of a sudden?
Most of the musicians I know actually don't like to do that.
Right.
I mean, sometimes it's kind of if someone ever does, it's super like uncomfortable. Like,
does anyone ever say, "Hey, hey, we're all sitting here. Let's write a song and market this thing"? Does anyone? That doesn't happen, right?
It has to be really. I think that what happens with musicians is that they have to kind of. And by the way, Miranda, Blake's wife, is amazing.
What do you mean amazing?
Incredible singer, incredible country singer.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's like everyone is so delicate and like doesn't want to kind of infringe on someone else's. Doesn't want to be not cool and kind of do something that's going to make them uncomfortable. Does
Kelly Clarkson have a boyfriend, or is she just hanging out?
Idea. I don't.
She was there solo.
She was staying at their, country. Estate retreat, doing something. Oh, she was on the show. That's what it was. She was on the show, so she was like a mentor. She was like a guest.
I see. And she too let her weight go. What is with these girls?
Slimmed down. She looks good on the Grammys.
Christina or Kelly Clarkson?
I'm not.
Go ahead, Adam.
I don't know.
I'm bowing out of this conversation.
Come on, man. Get some fucking balls on you. Let's get into it. Who's heavier? Come on.
It's so easy. I was coming here today, and I was like, all right, like, don't get trapped into these.
No, but when you're listen, you're a mentor. Do you ever say, and I am a judge on America's Got Talent, and I do say this to the women, it is about appearances. There was a comedian audition. I can't give away too many details, but I talked about appearance.
Well, again, on The Voice, it is all about the voice.
I was so excited to watch you on that show. I just like, it's so fun. I mean, the show was cool. I had never really seen it.
Right.
We were on it, actually, which is lame that we hadn't seen it. But the minute I heard you were doing it, first of all, I got much more excited about coming in here to talk to you about it. Yes. And second of all, I thought to myself, oh man, I'm so watching this. I can't wait. Because I know you're definitely going to piss people off.
No, in fact, I was the sensitive judge.
But you're going to be that guy. You'll be both, but like you're going to piss people off more than most. You're going to go
I only got into one fight with one guy. Gave me some shit, and I fucking gave it back to him.
What? This is a contestant?
What about cursing?
I didn't
I'm
curse.
bad with cursing.
No, I can listen. I was on terrestrial radio for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't curse. So I know it's a family show. I can't curse on there.
When you went to Sirius, did you like start cursing so constantly because you finally felt free? You could.
Here?
Fuck, shit ass pussy.
Oh yeah, pussy. Cunt. Everything I use.
I had coffee.
You want coffee?
No, my coffee's in there.
Gary, bring in some coffee immediately.
Gary, bring me some coffee.
Hurry up.
I'm just kidding.
No, he's got it. It's in the other room.
It's in the other room, the green room.
So where was I? So we were talking about New Year's Eve. You don't get together and you don't.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, what do you drink? A black?
Yeah.
Nice. That's a real man.
Yeah, man.
I like to see that.
I mean, it is iced. But.
So when you go on The Voice, all of a sudden, things blow up because, like, I've had you on the show many, many times. Maroon 5, certainly a big success, and you were always a fabulous guest, and I always knew that. And, you know, I actually get a little bit territorial. When I saw you on the show, I went, you know what? I fucking had that guy on 1,000,000 times. Now all of a sudden they're putting him on TV. I get a little jealous.
You were
maybe
jealous?
I get a little bit jealous.
Championing
maybe
me before
I think
this
so.
all happened.
But so you get on there. Has life changed a lot for you now, and for the band?
Drastically.
Drastically.
And that's the weird thing about it was we get on the show and it was almost as if, you know, we were big.
Right.
we had this whole career where it was like I thought it was almost in a weird way I wasn't nearly as big as I thought I was.
Right.
Because then this fucking thing happens and I'm like,
and you're huge.
Well, what's the difference? You walk through an airport and people now all recognize you, and I mean, 16 million people watching that thing. Who's watching it, by the way? Is it little kids? Is it mostly women?
Like kind of everybody. The feeling that I get. I mean, we live in a bubble, obviously, being in L.A. or New York. But
right.
I feel like it's a pretty wide range of people watching, and yeah, there's like I feel like there's other kinds of famous, and then there's TV famous.
Right.
It's a whole other fucking thing that is kind of something I need to figure out and learn how to deal with.
What do you mean? Said even Howard is going to go through a certain amount of that.
You're going to hate it.
I don't go anywhere, so it's fine.
But even when you do, you're going to notice it because it is different.
What is it you hate about it? The paparazzi?
I don't want to be one of these guys that complains about it because it's not something to complain about.
Right.
But it's something that you need to kind of observe as like a different thing that happens to you, and you got to, kind of.
What happens? Prepare me for this so-called TV fame.
No, it's not like it's not like I said. I'm not lamenting it or anything. I'm just saying it's.
I'm looking forward to it myself.
It's very flattering,
yes.
just the fact that everyone wants to, take their picture with you and stuff, but. It can be a little invasive.
So do you ever sit there and say to them, listen, no pictures now, it's I'm eating dinner, or you don't want to be a prick?
I mean, it depends what you're doing. If you're sitting eating dinner or something like that, I'll be like,
Are the paparazzi now chasing you?
I wouldn't say they're chasing me, but they're around.
They're more
much
aware
more
of you.
Often. Yeah.
Right.
Which is fine. I don't care about that. No one's like, stalking me or anything like that.
Now, this hot chick you're dating, who's in sport, this is her, right? The Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue?
That is her.
Madonna me. This is some hot
now,
chick.
What agency really do you call?
How do you get something like this? How old is this woman?
How do you know the agency number?
She
how old is it? Let's get this story straight, because this is a romance. Her name is Anne, right?
Her name is Anne.
Last time you were in here,
I call her Annie. I like Annie.
Last time you were in here, you had some other girlfriend, right?
Yeah, I knew you'd bring this up. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
But that was like years ago.
Every time.
That
every
was
time
4
you had
years ago.
There was some other hot chick involved.
There was another one, I think.
No, there was one. I brought my girlfriend in a few years ago, and that was the one time I ever brought.
You broke up with her when?
Gosh, like 3 years ago.
So
Danny and I have been dating for 2 years.
Danny.
Dan, that's not a good name for a girl, Danny. Actually, it is kind of Danielle.
When you break up with a girl you dated for a couple of years, what's the parting gift? You can't just unload her, right? I mean, you've got to
Is there
lay
a
some
parting gift?
What?
Yeah,
parting gift?
You got to lay
Is
some
it like
cash
a
on
game
her.
show?
You got to lay some cash on these girls.
Chris Fox said the best thing about that. He's like, when you're at a restaurant, you have a meal, you leave. They don't owe you a steak. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the idea that you have to give someone a parting gift.
You dated a girl for many, many years. You were living together.
It wasn't that long.
Not really.
How many years
we
were you with her?
We were never actually technically living together.
No.
No, we were together for year and a half or something like that.
But you're a wealthy man. When you break up with a girl, you don't give her a parting gift?
No.
You don't?
No, I'm a bad dude. Cause I didn't.
Is Annie leaving? She heard this.
Yeah, Annie left.
Honey, I'll give you whatever you want.
This girl.
But it'll never happen. We'll be together forever and get married on a mountaintop.
How do you end it with these girls? Because they got to take it hard. You're a good-looking dude. You can sing. You got fucking money. I mean, you're a home-run boyfriend. I'll go out with you. Crying out loud. I mean, how do you let these girls down?
I don't know, man. I don't ever want to not be with the person I'm with. I think it's one of the, it's like sometimes
do you say it face to face?
Of course.
Or do you text?
Do you text, or do you have your accountant do it?
No, I don't text.
No, some guys text, and
that's fucking spineless pussy shit.
I've broken up with 7 women over Twitter. Talk about spineless.
Over Twitter, wow.
That's right.
That's like double spineless.
Don't come home, baby.
Wow.
I mean, these girls fall hard for you, right?
No, I'm a nerd. I'm not like very cool.
You say you like being naked a lot. You like to walk around your house nude and stuff. Does that go over big?
I like naked, maybe not totally naked, like my junk swinging around.
Right.
You know, naked-ish, you know, in underwear and stuff like that. I just like, I don't know. I like when I get home, everything like comes off.
And Annie too likes to be naked?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, maybe.
Oh my goodness.
I can't speak on her behalf.
She's some good.
She's by the way, she's very beautiful and all that.
Dude, she's in Sports Illustrated swimsuit. Girl.
Yes, she's all of those things, but she's also just.
You gonna marry
such
this
a
girl?
Wonderful human being.
How long you been seeing her?
2 years.
2 years, and
this
you're
is
in
the
love.
longest and most functional relationship I've ever been in. I don't want to screw it up, so I'm just going to continue to stay on that path.
You're
Are
in love
you
with her.
two living together?
Madly in love.
Madly in love.
Are you living with her?
Well, here's the deal. She travels constantly, and so she's always doing something. She's very successful.
So you don't live with her?
She has a place here.
What does she have that the last girlfriend didn't have?
I don't know. I don't think about things. No,
Yes,
I'm
you
going to
do.
be honest with you. No.
I know. I'll tell you what she has. I'm looking at it. Madonna,
Listen,
this is a perfect looking girl.
This is going to sound maybe like I'm trying to get out of talking about that, but what the truth is that I don't. It's a case-by-case basis. You fall in love with somebody, and it kind of chooses you in a way, right? I mean, I don't think that I'm looking. There's no checklist in my mind.
Where do you meet a girl like this? Seriously, do you have to call a modeling agency? No. I mean, how does that happen? How does it all go down? Teach me.
Hey, Gary, can you ask my girlfriend if I can tell the story?
Bring her in here.
Come on, Annie. I knew it was
Annie,
inevitable.
come on in.
Annie, come on.
I mean, this is some score.
Yes.
Wow, honey.
Hi there.
Give me a break about you. Hi. How old are you? May I ask, or is that rude? I don't know the.
You don't know any etiquette.
I don't know any etiquette. Hi, Annie.
She's 17.
Hi.
You're 17?
Such a pleasure meeting you. I'm such a big fan.
Oh,
Thank you. And how old are you?
I'm 25.
25. How did you get tapped for the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue? Because this is a stunning picture. I'm a photographer.
And that's a big honor, right?
And I will set up a shoot with you anytime and leave Adam home. Now, you're a professional model, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, you've been working.
It's been 11 years.
Well, how old were you when you started working on this modeling career?
Well, she told you 11 and she's 25.
Yeah, well,
you want to do the math?
Yeah, that'll take me an hour.
Yeah, I started at 15.
Oh, wait a second. 25 minus 10 is 15, but you say 11.
I'll be 26 in.
You were 14.
Her birthday is one day after mine, which is cool.
Oh, that's the reason.
I kind of get screwed because.
That was one of the things.
Are you in love with Adam?
Yes.
Do you worry that he will not commit to you for life, that he'll just use you up because he's in rock and roll and he'll go on to the next pretty girl kind of thing?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Absolutely
Why do you think it'll be different?
Because I'm the best.
Well, he is the best, and
then why hasn't he married you? It's been 2 years. And why is he not living with you?
2 years. How long did it take you to get married?
Oh, well, that's
100.
I was married before. I'm a head case.
All right.
But seriously, why are you not living with him?
Well, we kind of technically do. I mean, when I spend most of my time in LA anyway, so,
right.
And then I have an apartment in New York, so we kind of do, but we both travel all the time.
Where are you from?
I'm Russian.
You're Russian, but your English is pretty damn good.
Thank you.
Not that I care.
She's been in that magazine. This is her 8th year.
No kidding.
8th consecutive year. Yeah.
Good Lord. Do you have to starve yourself before you go in to do a bikini shoot with and no top? I mean, you got to really starve yourself, right?
No, you actually, this is one job that you do where they don't want you to work out and they don't want you to eat healthy.
Is that right?
It's honestly, it's kind of a dream come true because you literally get in there and they're like, give you a huge donut and they're like, enjoy.
Really?
That's
a good job for Christina.
They like their girls curvy. Stop.
I'm just kidding with you. Come on.
They do. But I mean, I'm very kind of critical about myself, but I feel like I have like a pregnant belly in every single picture over there.
Stop it.
Because literally we've been peeing out.
Do they give you photo approval, or you just have to go with whatever pictures they decide?
You go with whatever.
It's not your thing to. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so now, how did you two meet exactly? Let me go into it now that you're here to talk about it, because everyone wants to meet someone like you.
Well.
Where do we go to meet girls like
you? It's so cliche, but it's so funny that it's worth talking about.
Go ahead.
So
I know what it's going to be. Mail order bride? She's Russian.
Yes.
Right away from her.
He found her in a magazine.
I went online and I'm like,
I want
how much?
How much for her?
We wrote to each other for a year.
Adam, how do you meet a beautiful girl like Anne? Seriously, she's hot.
Well, thank you.
This is,
you know it.
Once again, proving that the cliche is true. So our band was booked because I wanted to do this, because any artist wants to do this, is we had the Sports Illustrated release party for their in like 2 years.
They didn't even have to
I'm not
pay
stupid,
you, right?
You know what I mean?
I
They
wish I
paid us money. I was like, I'll do it for free. I don't give a shit.
If I could sing, I'd go there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Right.
like, cool, whatever. So it was in Vegas, and it was the launch of like the 2009 one or something, 2 years ago or something. And we had met before. Do you want to tell that part? We can tell the PG, like the good part.
The
of
PG
it.
version.
Yeah. So I mean, this really is not. This is a PG story, but basically, it had all started maybe a year or 6 months before this night, the party night, when I had actually been going on a date with a girl, and it was kind of a casual thing. It was in New York. It was like a casual, hey, you know, my friends, your friends kind of thing.
Right.
And the girl that was going on the date, and that never really went anywhere.
Right.
But the girl that
She
I was
wasn't
going
a model.
on a date.
Of course, it's not going
she was
anywhere.
beautiful.
She was all right. She ain't you.
She's a sweet, wonderful, beautiful girl.
Yeah, but she's not a Sports Illustrated model.
Well, the one foolish decision that she made was to bring Annie to the date.
Oh, what an asshole! Are women friendly with you, Annie?
Yes.
They like you?
Yes.
Oh, God. If I was a girl, I'd never fucking hang out
Well,
with
we
you.
don't really know each other, but I'm pretty much like a dude.
Yeah,
very-
you're just like a
very
dude.
much like a
yes,
dude.
you
Well,
are.
she's the best kind of dude.
Yeah, you're the hottest dude I'm ever going to fuck if I
She's
could
got
get near
breasts
you.
and a
Are you out of your
vagina.
mind?
If she looks like a dude, I'm fucking a dude.
Yeah. Give me that.
Well, what was the hell was I talking about?
Who cares?
So
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
girl brought
So it's kind of a funny story.
Annie.
So she
Right.
brings Annie, and Annie and I don't like each other at all.
No, not at all. Yeah.
No,
it's really true.
I'm not
It's
kidding.
really true.
I'm like, what a stuck up. I thought she was a prison.
Why?
I don't
Well,
know.
he was, you know, I came there kind of as a emotional support to her. She was nervous.
You were winging her.
And you know, I've never really went out with anybody kind of in a public eye before, especially a musician.
Is your friend mad at you now that you stole him away?
No, we're cool.
Oh,
we're cool.
okay.
Well, the thing is, so we go there, and I kind of like leave him to do his thing with her.
Right.
So
We had
he
our
thinks
blinders
that I'm
on.
kind
It
of
was
stuck up bitch, and
Right.
I kind of think that he is some douchebag musician.
Right.
And
Well, he'll admit that.
Totally true.
Right.
you know, which whatever.
Had
and-
you ever dated a musician before?
No.
Never. Okay.
No.
She had
I'm-
no idea she was getting.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God, I so had no idea.
we just didn't hit it off though. We weren't supposed to. We were, you know, we was like almost as if there was one girl in the room I wasn't really
Yeah, but
allowed.
you're like two of the best looking people in the world. Why wouldn't you be? Wait till you get kids. Are you going to have kids together?
So flattering. I want to have kids at some point.
You use a rubber when you have sex? What do you guys use for birth control?
We use protection.
You do? Oh, you don't. So, Adam, you pull out? He pulls out?
This is not appropriate.
No, yes, it is, because I'm
Yes.
kind of like, I can't figure this all out. Like, you don't want to have
Do you?
kids yet.
You know, like I mean,
I use a rubber.
You do?
Yeah, because
We're-
I don't want to have kids.
I'll be vague enough by just saying that we're safe. Okay, I'm not going to talk about any more than that.
How are you safe?
We're safe. Just we have safe sex.
Annie doesn't want a rubber.
But I will say this.
Annie said she does not use a rubber. She gave me the face like I'm like a
We
fucking
do
idiot
not, because
for
I
using
think
a
that
rubber.
listen, here's my philosophy: is that as long as you have safe sex, whatever.
How do you have safe sex if you're not using a rubber?
No, he meant before.
Long years of experience.
Right.
He was safe before.
Oh,
He pours Coca-Cola in
Yeah,
I
there.
don't want to talk about this anymore.
I mean, what is that?
Vinegar or something.
What do you guys do? Oral
it's
only?
safe. No, what?
So
Oral
how can you
only?
be safe if you don't use a rubber? So in other words, you pull
We
out.
control it.
How do you control it? Teach me, because I don't get it. How's everybody not having kids?
I don't know. I want to have kids at some point.
Yeah, not now. Both of you don't want kids yet,
So we
right?
don't have. We're good.
So how are you preventing
We
that?
have a very.
The pill?
We have a fail-proof system.
Annie, are you on the pill?
No.
Okay. He comes inside of you?
I have a magical penis that does not.
But you know
I
there's...
only send the type of sperm that don't
but
make
Adam,
baby.
Adam,
No, I
hold
don't.
it a
I, we're-
second. You know when you enter a woman, as much control as you
she
think
was
you
on
have.
the pill. You were on the pill for a while, and then you had to stop.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Okay.
basically,
so,
like,
and I agree that
that's-
you should stop
The plan
because
is
it's dangerous.
Well, my point of.
But
my
there's
point,
pre-cum.
No, listen. It's never good to do that. My point is, I would say yes, birth control. You should.
So you guys pull out, and if you have a baby, you have a baby. If
We've
you
done that before, but like it's not the best idea.
So then what do you do? Explain it to me.
Birth control, but she stopped it.
But what birth control? So now you don't
Pill.
take birth control. So you're going to have a baby.
Leave us the fuck
No,
alone.
we're not going to have a baby.
We're not gonna have a baby. Trust me, we're not.
Yes, you are. Because
No
you
one-
think when he pulls out, he's not going to have a baby with
We
you?
have safe sex. I promise.
How is that safe?
Because it's good.
Why is everyone not? I use a rubber because I can't figure out. I don't want to have sex with a rubber.
I told you we were going to have to talk about all this shit.
But what is there to talk about? We're talking about life, man.
It's safe.
I don't know what you two are up to.
Well, look, you never know if it's safe or not, but you hope for the best.
All right, so you trust that he can pull out.
Absolutely.
And if he gets you pregnant, would you have an abortion?
You know, I think that's something that we'll probably have to talk about and make a decision together.
I say you have the baby.
You're
I'll
a
tell you one
beautiful
thing.
baby,
I
right?
mean, it's going to be some baby. Most people should get an abortion, but you two shouldn't. Most people have the ugliest fucking
The
kids.
rules that Rick Santorum was, they should be only for you.
Yeah, I mean, look at you two. Can you imagine the fucking baby that's going to come out? It can't be ugly.
I want you to know I would love to have a baby.
How about the baby looks like me? That'd be weird.
How about this?
They'll be like, what the fuck?
Let me fix this so I don't look like a pussy for right now.
Go
Because I
ahead.
do want to say my piece.
You don't look like a
You're
pussy
right.
sitting next to her.
You're right.
Right,
come
go
on.
ahead.
She makes me look good.
She makes anybody look good.
So we don't use birth control, and actually we do pull out and all that stuff.
Right.
But the way that I feel about it is if I wouldn't say God forbid, but if for some reason that were to go down, it would be something that we'd have to think about, and I would be prepared because I love her so much. I'd be prepared to have it.
But isn't kind of, I mean, where do you put that stuff? On her stomach, or do you put it in your hand?
I go lots of different places.
You do?
It goes all over.
Yeah,
you should
gross.
see
And Annie, you
Blake
don't mind?
Shelton's house now.
Yeah, Blake Shelton's house is covered in
covered the walls.
Jizz. Annie, where does he unload? I mean, it's gross, right?
Okay, stop. Enough.
All right, let's get back to it. So get back to your romance.
I'm fucking trying to lie.
You see? You're not
We're
Russian.
like everybody else.
You're
I
on
mean,
NBC.
where do you do that? Same places.
Okay, by the way, I love it.
Oh,
She's
you
like-
do it on a condom.
I'm like, honey, do you want to come to Howard today? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, do you know what that means?
No, I'm actually really excited to see how much you can push us. I mean, that's really cool.
Isn't this a good discussion to have? What do we do if
Oh,
we have
listen,
a baby?
absolutely. I mean, first of all, it's
No one's
Thank God
discussing
you
this.
came here.
Adam doesn't know if he gets you pregnant what he's going to do.
Okay, I mean,
No,
also,
who knows? I mean, we
everybody,
don't
time out.
have this kind of
Time out.
conversation.
And you know you're going to have the baby.
Time out.
You know you are.
Time out.
Yes.
Okay, so
You're
I
like a
think
man
that one of the
drowning.
greatest things, one of the best things about having a girlfriend who you love so much.
I love her, and I don't even know her.
Yeah.
I'm in love. I'm in
Why
love with
did
my
you
wife.
tell
but
us
I'm-
the best thing about it, Howard?
Yeah, how
You're
come-
married.
I know, but who wouldn't be in love with you?
Well, thank you.
hard
Does
to
your
be in
wife
love with.
mind, by the way?
No, she knows I'm madly in love
Aw,
with her.
good.
And believe me, she loves it.
Let
you
me
should
say one
see
thing about
me naked.
I'm going to forget the thing I want. I want to say it before I forget. I was about to leave my mind. One of the benefits, one of the best things to being in a monogamous relationship is that you don't need to use a condom. To me,
Right.
if you love somebody and you are capable of dealing with that if it were to happen, then to me that's the beauty of having a relationship.
You're
is
absolutely right.
Feeling that.
But
you know?
here's my problem. I'm in a 12-year relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have kids. I can pull out. I've got some control. But there's sometimes you don't know things are dripping in there.
That's true. There is
Now,
the inevitable, like you never know what's actually going
And I've
down.
discussed with Beth. I said, if I got you pregnant, let's say I don't use a rubber. She said, I will absolutely have the baby. She does not. She believes in abortion rights, but for herself, she doesn't believe in it. She would, even if the baby's retarded, she's having it. Okay, you hear what I'm saying? I'll be walking around with a kid with an IQ of 12.
That baby's happening if it happens.
It's happening, and I'm like, oh my God! Now Robin's looking at my Down syndrome baby. She's making judgments. I mean, come on, it's a whole
Look,
fucking
it
deal.
won't be me you have to worry about. It'll be the rest of the world.
Everyone's like, oh, you know, I know what
Look
people
at
do when
Howard
they go
Stern's
home.
baby.
They make
Can't you find? You can find out all that stuff early.
Yeah,
now.
but she doesn't care.
Well, why aren't you guys having
She's
a
a
baby?
wonderful
You're going to
woman.
have such a great baby.
Can you imagine a retarded baby with my face? Can you imagine like
Why
a double
does anyone
whammy?
have a retarded baby? I mean,
Listen to me. What I'm saying is, all I'm saying is, you guys have to think this through. Annie's saying
I sat here and told you if it happened,
you're having the baby.
I would be. It's a conversation.
yeah.
Annie, you're gonna tell him now. You're gonna have the baby.
I think that there's pretty much no doubt that. I mean,
Annie,
who knows?
be honest with me.
She also has a lot of things to think about.
You're gonna
too,
abort his
I mean,
baby.
look, at the end of the day, it's like we both have our careers, you know? It's like,
Right.
and I'm not saying that you have to choose a baby over a career, but you have to be smart, you know? I've been doing it for 10 years, and our career is very limited. And
You do
kind of-
runway?
I do. I still do runway. I'm actually about to go to Milan today.
Do you have any
for-
major campaigns?
Yeah, I just got a few, you know?
What are you pulling down? About $1 million a year? You're some cat.
Probably more than that.
I don't know. Are you pulling down? Are you pulling down $1 million?
She's my sugar mama.
You're not kidding. Are you pulling down $1 million a year?
Yes.
Well, look at you. Oh, what a Maron. Wait, let me think. Hold on, I got to take a breath. Oh my God.
I gotta say,
$1 million, over $1 million.
It
and you
really-
look like that.
She's a successful model.
Jesus.
I will say the first time she kind of threw down and kind of bought me dinner, I was like,
yes.
I kind of got a boner.
I love that. You're not kidding.
Big time.
I wish someone would buy me dinner.
It was
I'm always paying. Sucker pays.
It was attractive. It was very
That is
attractive.
very attractive. No one ever buys me dinner.
Aw.
Really?
She'll buy you dinner. Annie will buy you dinner.
There was a girl once. But she was a mess. I was actually a prize for her. Okay, listen. Let's get back to it. So, how did you meet again? Where were we in
All
the
right,
story?
Now that we've divulged all the
This
intimate
is
details of our
sexy.
sex
I can't
life.
wait to get to the romantic part.
So basically, we didn't like each other.
Right.
And this
We
was like
hate
8
each other.
months
That's so
ago.
great when you hate each other.
I didn't hate her. I was
No,
just like,
but you know,
I was
it's
just like, what
weird
the fuck? I was
because-
like, who do you think you are, kind of thing. And she was like, who the fuck do you think you are?
Well, you know, sometimes, I mean, people meet and they look at each other and they have no sexual chemistry whatsoever.
Are you saying you were not attracted
no,
to him?
not at all.
And I will say this.
Not at all.
I will say
Really?
this.
Yes.
I saw her and I was like, that is a really beautiful woman. Obviously, you can't not say, you can't
Right.
not think that when you walk in a room. But I wasn't. I was put off. We were both put off by each other's energy. I don't know what it is. I don't care how beautiful you are. There's something that it wasn't
This
there.
is the best story
Right?
because it's
So-
going to explode.
And he's not, and he was really not my type, really.
Of course not.
And well,
No.
I mean, you're everybody's type, so yeah, you were totally my type.
So how does that all turn around? How do you end up asking her out on a date?
Well, here's what happened. It was pretty romantic, actually, and it's looking back, we always talk about it because it's one of those things that we always like.
Can't wait to get to
discuss.
the sex, but
So-
go ahead.
Oh Jesus!
Oh my
You're
God!
not getting there.
I would
We already
explode.
went. Wait, we're going backwards. We already talked about
How long can
where
you
we
hold out with
drop
her?
What?
Seriously, how long? When you're in bed, the actual coitus, how long does it last? 3 seconds?
No, it's a little like
Is he able-
7 seconds.
Is he able to hold out for a long time, or are you just totally
I held that
dissatisfied?
for a long time. Yeah.
Don't most guys?
Okay, wait a minute. Can we time out again?
Wait a second.
Can we go
Don't
back to
most
the-
guys who are
Don't
with
you want
you,
the
don't they
romantic
explode
story?
in a second with you? I mean, because you're so hot. Like I couldn't hold out.
No, I mean you don't really
You
want to
talk
be.
about other dudes
you don't
that she's
really
hooked
want to
up
be
with
like with someone who just thinks that you're hot. You know,
Oh,
It's
yeah, you
gotta
want to be with me then.
I'm really.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm saying, how does a guy look at you and then
Oh,
not
thank
and
you.
hold back? In other words, do most of these guys? Do you think sex is something that happens in 3 seconds?
No.
You do not. You mean there are men who can hold out with you?
Yeah, it should be that way.
How long do you hold out, Adam? Can you hold out 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whoa. I still can't even hold out more than a minute with my wife.
Really?
Yeah. She's
Shut
too
up.
hot. She's fucking hot.
Shut
What are
up.
you doing,
have sex for more
Howard?
than a
What are
minute.
you
It feels
doing?
good. I put it in and it feels good.
But
And I can have a
don't you
rubber
know how
on.
to manage things?
No.
You
I
don't?
can't calm down.
Do you like
You
you can't
don't.
like you can't
I can't
say to
slow
yourself you can't control when
No.
you release?
No.
Get the fuck out of
I
here.
can't.
So what does she get out of it?
Nothing.
So why is she?
I don't know. I can't imagine she gets anything out of it. What could she possibly get out of it? I'm done.
Oh, dude.
I mean,
He's got
You're
to be lying.
You're
He's
lying.
got
There's
to be
no way.
lying.
There's
Right.
no chance
She's
that you are
walking
not
around
lying.
smiling.
I'm just
so
kidding.
he's got to
Yeah.
be lying.
I'm
There's
just
no
kidding.
way.
I'm just kidding. I'm really good in bed. No, she gets to look at me. Look how hot I am.
1 minute. That's sad. I hope that's not true. I
A
don't think
minute,
it
I'd be
is.
lucky.
Wait, can we talk about
All
the
right, so-
non-sexual part for 1
Yeah,
second?
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so when do you meet
All
again?
right, so then we go back to this Sports Illustrated thing, and I know she's going to
Well,
be there
no.
kind of thing.
Well,
Right.
just say that you guys dated and.
Well, you put your feet on the couch. I wasn't going to do
No,
that.
that's
Why?
okay.
Well,
That's all right. Go ahead.
I'm trying to get myself comfortable.
I know. I was going to do
Do you
that.
mind?
I don't care what you do.
You have
Sorry,
no
but-
idea what's happening
Some
on
weird,
that couch.
gross shit
do
probably
it.
happened on this couch.
Do whatever you have to do on that couch. I
Only
think
put
those-
your feet
Our
on that
feet being on the
couch.
couch is definitely not a problem with that. What the fuck? Okay, what were we talking about? Oh, the thing.
So you go to the Sports Illustrated swimsuit thing. You're playing the gig, and look who's there.
And
you
I know
know
she's
she's
going to
gonna
be
be
there.
there.
I know she's going to be there. And of
And
course,
he's there.
I'm probably in the position where I'm thinking this could be a really good night for me. I'm playing
Right.
this friggin' party.
Well,
And-
can I kind of
Is there
rewind a
another
little bit?
aspect I'm missing out?
Just a little bit. Well, pretty much the story was, I think the reason why we kind of really were supposed to be together, because the day of going to Vegas, I woke up and I pulled my back because I overran. I did New York City Marathon and I couldn't get up from the bed. So pretty much I knew that I have 3 days of walking in heels and 24/7 press.
Right.
So the only time when it didn't hurt is when I was drunk.
Right.
So I was drunk all the time. And that's something that I don't usually do. Like, I'm
But
very professional.
it eases the back pain.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And because I couldn't sleep, I couldn't walk. I mean, I couldn't do anything.
How
So-
wasted are you for this runway?
So
show?
basically, what she's
For this
saying is
show?
she got so hammered she fell in love, madly in love with me.
So you were really
she was drunk
hammered.
enough to fall in love with me.
Are you so hammered you can barely walk?
No.
that's
No, you
controlled.
just
Just to take the
control.
edge,
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway,
That's hot.
she's binge drinking.
Yeah.
And it's basically, and so I
Would
show
you
up
do a little coke too, or no?
No.
A little hash?
Fuck that.
No?
Coke's fucked. I never.
Coke's fucked?
That's
Hash?
not my thing. Not my thing.
Psilocybin?
Jesus.
Shrooms? You ever do shrooms?
When I was a kid.
Yeah. Do you ever do shrooms?
Actually, I will say, I'll talk about
No?
that later if you want.
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
But okay, you keep distracting me. I'm trying to tell the thing.
Well, it's not easy for me.
It goes from like sex to drugs, from sex to drugs.
I know, man. Jesus.
You two ever do shrooms
My
together?
publicist is shitting her pants in the other room.
You guys ever do E together?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Hold on a minute.
So you're at the,
so we're at the
show.
party.
She's drunk. Go ahead.
You weren't that
No,
drunk.
I wasn't
by the
really
way.
that
She
drunk.
was
She's feeling
totally
good.
fine.
She was just
She's
drinking.
exaggerating.
Right,
She was
buzzed.
drinking.
She's buzzed.
Well, maybe on a night when she wouldn't.
Right.
So I get there, and I'm there the night before this show, and I get there, and I walk into the section that they don't let people into because why would they? It's just all these swim. It's all of them. They're all there, and all my friends are with me, and their jaws are dropping, and my jaw is dropping. And I walk in, and the first person I see is Annie, and so I see her, and literally it was as if. Like in a fantasy where, like, you imagine like the beer maid, or you have like someone with shots, the beautiful woman with shots. Literally, if it was like, want a drink?
And what's Annie wearing? Like a swimsuit or something?
The first thing she did was this. She's like, so nice to see you. And I'm like, you don't like me.
Right. No, I try to be polite.
She's being polite.
I knew they were like recording an album, so I asked how was the album. You kind
bunch of bullshit talking.
Right.
Surface conversation, and then
wait until you bang.
Then the tequila started happening.
Yeah.
Right. And then we got loose and comfortable, and we're just talking, and we're talking, and kind of everything else is disappearing. And
we weren't really talking so much.
Right. But we're talking for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and the conversation's getting very personal. And my birthday's on March 18th. My birthday's on March 19th. everything was kind of leading in this direction. Of, holy shit! And we have a great rapport with each other, and we kind of forget about the fact that we didn't like each other,
But there's no making out or anything, is there?
Listen, but then...
You started making out?
Yeah, but listen, here's the interesting part of this whole thing. The both of us, in the past, always, we're very discreet. I'm not the kind of person that's going to start, like, licking someone's face in public after just meeting them. That's just not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to just start making out with anybody in public right in the middle of this very visible.
No, I would.
place.
I don't care. If I can get it,
I'm just not like that. I don't like to do that, and I never do. It's not my style, and I know it's not hers either.
Yeah, because I was working there. There's pretty much every
she had
single.
to be there.
Every
so you
single,
two are sitting there making out in front of everyone?
No, we're sitting. Actually, we're standing, just like.
I think it was one of those things. We did a shot,
kissing.
and we somehow magically my hand was on his back, and his hand was on and it's like the magic happened, and something just
the room went away.
I don't know. It's not cheesy and corny, but
well, it's not done yet. There's more. So then that night's done. So basically, I go back, and this is actually totally true. I'm not telling. This is not joking at all. Lying. So I go back with her. I said, hey, I want to. And we're drunk at this point. I'm like, let's come back to my place. Of course, I'm saying dumb shit like that.
Right.
And she's like,
and I was like,
no, I'm not coming back to your place, but you can come back to my place.
I'm like, you can come back to our place because, my place, my hotel, but I'm not going to sleep with you. I'm like, you can come back, but I'm not saying anything with you.
Yeah, because then he doesn't think anything of you, if you bang him right away, right?
Well, I don't do that kind of stuff anyway.
You don't bang right away?
No.
You never banged a guy after meeting him that night?
No,
Good
never.
for you. Well, you can afford to do that.
So we go back to her place.
A lot of girls have to get into the sack immediately. Yeah.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with it.
By the way,
but
you're about to hear about the this tailspin she sent me into. So we go back to the hotel, and we're hammered, and we kind of make out, and it's really sweet and PG and nothing.
Did you get
crazy.
you get to second base?
Maybe second base. It was
What's second base?
Titty, boob.
Oh.
Sure.
Over the shirt or under the
Our
shirt?
Our shirts were off, our underwear was on. It was cordial.
So you're in underwear at the hotel.
We're making out and kissing and stuff. And it's very cute.
You don't
and
get
sweet,
to third base, though.
Staring in each other's eyes, all the stuff that you do when you're falling in love. And
Did you get into third base?
No.
First night, you only get to second base, but you're in underpants.
There was nothing going on over there. That was done. That was.
You guys get to the hotel, the first date, you're in underpants. And you don't bang her.
But it's no. Well,
that's hot
for a number of reasons. A, because there was no way she was going to let me, and B, because there was no way that my penis was going to work, no matter what I was going to do.
Oh, come on.
We were hammered.
You didn't have a boner when you were making out with her?
A little.
Right. She didn't give you hand release?
Just no. Right. There was no below the belt. There was no below the belt.
No
at all.
happy ending.
Did you go home and jerk off?
I didn't. Just listen.
All right, go ahead.
God,
I can't wait to get to that part. Yeah.
So we fall asleep and pass out, and then. I wake up in the morning. I'll never forget this. I wake up in the morning, and she's gone.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, and first of all, you know, her place is just a mess, which I thought was rad too. I'm like, oh, she's messy. That's so.
That's
she's
not rad if
but
you
she's
marry
not,
her.
But she's not messy.
I'm like a clean freak.
She was just
good.
working and putting all her shit on and leaving. So she
That annoys the shit out of me.
No, she's not. Trust me.
But I could put
she's
up with
not
it.
messy.
I am
at all.
yeah.
Okay.
But so she's gone. I'm like, all right. Kind of feeling a little bit like a girl, like I got used or something like that.
She didn't even say goodbye.
Fuck, I'm like, she's gone, and I don't remember what happened really. I really like her, and now she's just left now. And so I.
But that's hot that she left.
Oh, it's amazing.
She didn't annoy you.
She knows what she's doing. She's
Right.
playing me.
She knows how to
No,
play.
I wasn't. I was working.
She's playing.
Baby, you know what you're doing.
She was playing.
You know what you're doing. Don't
So
worry
I'm
about
like, I'm so hungover, and it's noon, and I'm thinking to myself, what? So I left her a note. I don't know, some cute, stupid note, and I texted her because I had her number.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what I texted her back.
Let's go
have
for
lunch or something like that.
Yeah.
And she texts me back. She's like, I can't. Or no, she's like, yeah, come to here. I'm working, and I'm with 10 people, and come join. And I'm like, so then I kick in of like, I ain't gonna fucking do that. No
Right.
way. I'm going on a date with this girl. I'm not gonna go be her
10 of
bitch
her friends.
and show up at the thing.
She wants to show you off, though.
She was kind of just be like, she was all about territory at that point. You were
Right.
well played.
Well,
my
I
love.
wasn't really playing, but it's like, it's
you
always
was.
so awkward the next day. I was like, well, I was kind of like drunk. I kind of made out with this guy. I don't really
And you were in
know
your
who he is.
underpants, and you slept in the hotel together.
But like, it's like, I don't really know like if he's cool. I'm like,
What
I don't
underpants
know.
were you wearing? Were you wearing like a thong or just full panty? Probably. You probably wear a thong all the time.
I
right?
like my favorite is I like the boy short, like the like the underwear.
Very few girls can pull that off.
That's
She
my
can.
favorite.
Yeah.
All right, so she's gone, and I'm like, great, this sucks. And it's noon, and I don't know where I am. I called a tour manager, and I was like, dude, where am I? He's like, get in a cab and come back to this hotel. So I leave, and I'm all disoriented, and I text her something. All right. I text her after. I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll see you later. And I don't hear from her. And so then I go into the next 6 hours, and the party's that night, right? The show. And then the next 6 hours are just agonizing. I'm like, what the fuck didn't she text me back?
Right.
Like, wow, she's not into it. I'm like, I lose,
And you don't lose often.
And I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh man. So I'm lying in bed trying to take a nap, and I'll never forget this too. I'm plugged my phone in. And
Did you beat off at this point? Because
ferociously.
Because you had a full load, right?
I mean, I wouldn't call it that. I would say that I was just.
Did you how many tissues did you rip through?
You use tissues?
Of course. What do you use?
No, tissues.
What do you use? Your sock?
I can't do towels.
You jerk off into a towel?
Not into a towel. You clean up
disgusting.
afterwards.
But where does it go?
I don't know.
But do you put
to
on
a
your
magical
stomach?
land where it gets washed.
No, wait a second. When you jerk off into your hand or into the towel?
Well, like, no, not into. I don't jerk off into anything.
So where does all the load go? Where does
Who
it
jerks
go?
off into? Do you jerk off into something?
You're going to impregnate random hotel guests.
You guys do the awkward stand up and find some shit to wipe it off on.
No, but where do you come? Where does it all land?
It
on
lands
the bed?
in the area, in the general area.
On you?
Yeah, well, no, not on me. I don't come on myself.
Well, where do you
What is it,
come?
on the
It's like in the area of my shit, like,
Of your
Jesus
junk.
Christ. Can you give me, you will not let me finish the story.
You know what? Annie's going to break up with you.
She knows.
Annie, have you ever seen him jerk off?
No.
Of course I did.
No, you didn't.
No, not like to completion.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but you don't know that. Do you still masturbate, Adam?
Do I still masturbate?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You do? Okay,
I'm a
right.
dude.
Right. So,
and she's never around, so
just
I
explain
masturbate
your
quite
technique.
a bit.
Right, she's never around, so that's good that you do that because then you stay faithful.
Of course, that's the. Then if you're a guy and you don't see your girlfriend every day or all the time,
What's the longest separation? 2 weeks?
I mean,
6 weeks.
we don't
6 weeks.
That was the
Wow.
worst. That was like
yeah.
the worst thing ever. But
Right.
yeah, and we need to force. Sometimes you
hard.
need to be like, we have to not let 3 weeks go by.
That's hard on a relationship.
Sucks.
Yeah, it
one
does.
I would say, as far as we're concerned, the only thing that is the continuous problem. I mean, we don't have problems. That's the only one, is that we never see each other.
That's bad.
That's bad. Well, it's sad.
And
She's off to Milan right now.
I know she's
And
leaving. I have to go check into a friggin' hotel.
Any almost breakups yet? Have you guys almost broken up?
We got close once. But
Really?
We're fine now.
What was the problem?
They talked a bunch of shit in the press about it, but it wasn't true.
What?
Just distance. It sucks.
You almost broke up?
Just because we were apart a lot.
Well, we didn't really break up, but you kind of.
You cheated?
No.
Adam?
No.
What? Did you cheat?
No.
No, it's not about
was-
cheating. I mean,
it
we
was
don't give
distance.
each
It was
other
like, yeah, it
reason
was-
for that. But you know what? Because our relationship is so non-traditional,
Yeah.
and you have to kind of figure out is what we can give each other is enough. because whatever we give, whatever we can give to each other, we're all like, he's all mine, I'm all his. But unfortunately, we can't give each other 9 months out of the year.
But when you're away from him, are you attracted to other guys?
No.
You can say that if you are.
No. I mean, I would. I don't care.
Men are attracted to other women. I'm attracted to other women. You just don't act. You just don't do anything about it.
Right.
You have blinders on. That's how you do it. You're
Get back to your masturbation for 1 second, because I got to clear this up. You come on your junk and then you wipe down with a towel.
Christ's sake!
I just want to be clear on that.
You make it so dramatic, like then you wipe down.
Well,
with
why
a
not
towel.
do what I do? I have a tissue, and then everything goes in there.
But the tissue's like shit. Like the tissue breaks off, and it's on your dick.
Well, you put 3 tissues together.
No,
You
gross.
blow into there.
It's very bad for the environment.
I did it, and I flush it away, and then all the evidence is gone.
No, see, I don't give
want
a
a
shit about
towel.
evidence.
You
I'm
don't?
like,
You're leaving this stuff all over hotels.
I don't care.
Oh my God. Annie, don't you think that's gross?
That's the beauty of a hotel. You leave, you're gone.
Don't you think it's wrong to come into a towel and then leave it for the
It's no
chambermaid
different
to
than
touch?
being sweaty on a towel. It's just a different type of fluid.
Yeah, it's true.
I think no, Annie, you don't approve of that.
The towel is standing in the corner.
That's not
The
right.
towel is fucking, it
So,
stands
all right,
up.
get back to your story. So then she doesn't text you back. You don't hear from her, and you're like, oh, man, I lost this beautiful girl.
Okay, so then I'm just like, it sends me into a total, like...
You're obsessed.
I'm like, damn it. So the show's that night, and I'm like, whatever. And I start being all macho about it. I'm like, well, she's just crazy.
Right.
In my mind. I'm not saying this out loud.
Who needs her?
I'm like, oh, yeah, well, I'll see you later.
I'll get lots of other girls.
So I come to the show, and I'm feeling pretty bad about myself, and I show up, and then we're doing the show, so we have to do the red carpet thing, and we go on the thing, and she's like I'll never forget this, because there's an escalator that goes right after the carpet, right up the thing, and she was right before me. And she's walking up the escalator, and I'm on the carpet, and I kind of look over, and I see her, and I'm like kind of doing one of those things, and she kind of looks at me, and she's like this, and I'm like, oh, damn it. Well, now it's not over. You know what I mean?
Well, you're in the game.
So then I play the show, and I swear to God, I'm just not this kind of guy. But then I'm thinking about her the whole time. And then the second the show is over, I'll never forget this. There's all these amazing moments that I remember so vividly about the whole experience. But there's this. They always quarantine the models. It's like they have these big Sports Illustrated parties, and then of course no one can get near them because they're in this little jail, like 10 rows above everybody, and they're all dancing and having fun. And I'm thinking, I know she's up there, and I kind of see her, and I'm standing here like a schmuck, looking up, trying to find her. Looking for her actively, in the middle of the crowd, which is another thing that I wouldn't necessarily normally do.
Right.
Just being like, where the fuck? I'm finding this woman. Like, where is she? And she comes out, and I look at her, and I'm just like, get down here. And she comes down, and then basically what happened was that night was incredible.
What do you mean? Where'd you go?
We just went out. She had a bunch of stuff she had to do too for the.
And you guys banged that night?
Nope.
No.
Bullshit.
No.
You're kidding.
I couldn't. My back was off. Like,
that's another thing too. She was literally crippled.
So then what'd you do? Lay around in your underwear again and just touch each other?
Yeah. No, honestly, I think
kinda
that
hot.
night we got so drunk, I think we almost got married or something.
We did almost get married.
Yeah.
I was like, let's get
So
married.
how long did you guys wait before you had intercourse?
About a week.
A week?
No. Was
10
it a
days?
week?
A week.
No, like 10 days or 2 weeks or something. Like
2 weeks is the time. That's it. Let's find out what's happening here,
Want to hear the craziest thing, though? The best part about the whole thing? Well, there's another thing, which is basically like after we had that night, and she was really hurt. Her back was really messed up. She couldn't do anything. She couldn't barely move.
I could get her to do something.
I'm sure you
Believe
could.
me. I'd be like,
Sure
back
you could.
schmack. Let's get busy. You
Get
just
a brace. I'm coming in.
You know what? Lay there, and I'll move.
Well, it was actually probably a good thing because we were so alcoholic for that whole experience that I probably would have never been terrible. But so basically, we waited. We didn't sleep together. And then the crazy part is I got pretty bold, and I told her, I said, I want to go back. She's like, I got to go back to New York. And I'm like, I'm coming with you.
Right.
And she was kind of weirded out by that. But
so for 2 weeks, you're like just fucking around,
we
right?
We left Vegas together, and we've been together ever since.
So for 2 weeks, it's just like foreplay.
No, pretty much.
It was like a week, maybe.
No, it was kind of really bold because we didn't sleep together, and then he came to New York to take me out for Valentine's Day. He literally stayed a night in New York, and then he left like on Monday morning, and then I did some show in New York, and then I packed all my bags and went to LA with my dog
But
on
Annie,
Monday night. It was like, you know what? It was like
but girls need to know. So when you're with a guy, and so for a week or 2 weeks, you're not going to have sex with him, but you got to put out a little bit, right? So you got to use your hand on him a little bit or something, right? Because he's got a full load in
Aside
there.
from the fact that we need to not even stop
You know what?
getting
Is
so
it
specific.
oral for 2 weeks?
No, I was just messing. I was like fooling around. Yeah, shit like that.
Oral stuff like that.
No, I don't know. I don't think we even went there. I mean, honestly, like I think everything happens.
You didn't
for a
go there
reason.
for the 2 weeks?
No, you did. You did.
You did. You blew
No.
it.
both went there.
Or maybe it wasn't 2 weeks. Maybe it was like 10 days.
So you guys
or a week.
69 for 2 weeks?
There was one thing
That's
we needed
hot.
before we were to commit to each other. We both knew that we had to have sex.
Right.
That was kind of like in a weird way going to be.
Well, you got to know you're
if the sex
compatible.
was going to be compatible and amazing. Then we knew we were going to be.
But
in
doesn't that put too much pressure on the whole sexual act?
No, because we didn't wait too long.
Was it good right away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gotten better.
And you had an orgasm the first time with him? Or you had to build into it?
Took a few times.
Adam, were you disappointed in yourself that you couldn't give her an orgasm?
A little
first?
bit.
Yeah,
A
of
little
course.
bit.
Yeah, that
I was
sucks.
like, that's. But then you kind of, if you have a good sexual relationship with somebody, you figure out everything and you know certain things.
You got a big schlong?
I knew you were going to.
Oh my God! I so knew you were gonna ask.
I was like, when he asks if I have a big dick, what should you say, honey?
Well,
it's fine. It's good.
Is
It's
he the
not
biggest
huge.
you've ever had, Annie? Is he the biggest you ever had?
Definitely not.
No.
Who was bigger, Leonardo DiCaprio?
Oh my
Shut the fuck up.
Didn't you date him?
No.
You didn't date him?
No. Oh, you're too
I thought you went out with him.
No.
Yes, you did.
No.
You didn't?
No.
Adam.
I mean, come on, don't don't.
I read that.
All this
Yeah,
shit.
of course it's like
How much
everybody
shit do you
writes
read about
so much
yourself
stuff,
that ain't true? It's just like
Everything's true. I don't know.
liar. Unless it's about you, everything's true.
No, I've had terrible things written about me that were not true. Like I bought a stripper a car. I'm not going to buy. When I'm so lame, I got to buy a stripper a car.
See, didn't that bother you?
Yeah, of course it did. So what? Did you guys ever discuss each other's sexual past? Do you ever sit there and go through the names?
Yeah, of course.
So there's got to be a couple of names in there.
No,
know?
I mean
He's got more than me.
Yeah.
Well, that was the whole thing too. Is I had to really I've been such a whore bag in the past that I had to like really make her understand that I was not that one of those things. And it
This
was
is exciting. This is so exciting.
See, I'm like I'm so boring now.
Will you guys try anal or will you not go there?
No, I don't want to.
Annie, you don't want to try it?
My experience with that has always been like you get to a point where like let's try something, and then you do that and it's like
Annie, don't do it.
It's not good.
You're too pure.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I wouldn't do that to
I'm not
you.
into it. That's not. I don't like it.
Annie has the kind of lips. You know all these women who get injections in their lips, they want big lips? Like you have that naturally, right? Like women want your lips.
Yeah, but when women get injections, it doesn't look like
No,
that.
it doesn't. Looks all messed up.
Yeah.
I gotta say, man, I tell her this every day. By the way, I'm not just saying it because I'm doing it in public, but you are incredible. She's so beautiful.
If Annie was, God forbid, in a fire or a car accident and disfigured,
I told her I wouldn't be with her anymore.
you would break up with her, right?
Yeah, I
okay.
told her
Annie,
that.
just realize that.
What an asshole.
I told her that. I told her that within 6 months.
That's right. Hey.
No, you didn't.
We joke around about that all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
I told him if he ever cheats on me, I'll cut his balls off.
She did say that.
All right.
Well,
He's
you know,
scared
why
now.
would
It
you-
was
At
kind of
least
like a
you know
joke.
where you stand.
Can I
Every time
tell
I
you
leave town,
something?
she goes like this.
She makes a clipping. Why would you cheat on her? You know what? Let me tell you something.
Why would
Guys
anyone
fuck
cheat on
up
her?
everything.
Yeah.
I was telling Robin earlier this morning. I went to a party and I met Sandra Bullock over the weekend.
Oh, that whole thing is crazy.
And this girl is sexy and successful, beautiful. I mean, I'm standing. I go, this Jesse James, like Paul McCartney said, you took your lucky break and you broke it in two. Sure. When a woman like that loves you, what's to cheat? How many women do you need, Adam?
I know.
Right? You're going to fuck it up. Don't fuck up with her.
Don't say I'm going to fuck
Ask
it up.
her to marry you right now. I'm serious, man.
I already
Don't let
asked
get
her the
away.
first night we met in Vegas.
Annie,
Hammered.
will you marry me?
Who are you asking
For
for?
Adam. For Adam.
You're already married.
Will you marry Adam if he asks you right
I've never
now?
had someone else propose for me
Annie,
before.
if he asked you right now and got down on one knee, would you do it?
He's not going to do it.
He might.
I'm not going to do it right now.
Yes, you will.
We don't want to get
We're
married
discussed. Yeah, we're discussed.
I have a preacher in the next room. He's ready to do
Oh,
it.
He can perform the ceremony right,
Right.
now.
Well, you
Gary,
two are.
That would be a really trippy wedding. That would be pretty.
Andy,
amazing.
That would
describe-
actually be a great wedding.
Andy, describe your outfit real quick for the guys at home. I see the bra is part of the outfit. In other words, it's a tank top, but the whole bra is really the outfit. Am I correct?
No,
It's a fabulous look, Robin. You need
I
this
think it's
look.
a
I know. I'm
classy-
going to go in the bathroom and tear my shirt right now.
Yeah, tear your shirt. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful look. Let me tell you. Well, Adam, what a life, huh?
Man, my life is.
Should
not
one
bad.
become a musician? Is this what happens when
Learn an instrument.
Learn an instrument. God,
Yeah.
my piano teacher, if he'd only not committed suicide.
I'll never forget the one thing I heard. I don't know who said it one time. I've heard someone say this, but they said, everyone's like, oh, you got into music for the girls and all that stuff. It's like, no, I didn't join a band to get girls.
Right.
I stayed in a band to get girls.
That makes sense to me.
Which is the best thing, because it's totally true. You think, because I was like I was 14, and by the way, being in a band back in the day didn't mean it was not cool. It wasn't very cool. You were outcast in a way. I remember it was like, now it's everyone's in the band, and everyone got band camps and all this shit. But when I was a kid, it was like, you were lame if you weren't a football player or a job.
Right.
And so, you're not cool, you're dork. It's basically like you're no different than like a D&D kid. You're just like, oh, like Nirvana, you know what I mean? And everyone thinks you're weird.
What's your schedule like on The Voice, by the way? Because I'm pretty busy. I'm going to San Francisco this week, and this, I got a whole itinerary. But The Voice seems to be way more involved. Like, how many days? It's a lot of days.
Well, the difference is, I think, because we do a lot of stuff, you
mentor.
off the set of the show. Yeah, we do something.
Right, yeah.
It is, I have never been so unbelievably consumed by so much work.
Do you care if you win? I mean, you won the first season, right? Your person won. Do you care?
My pride and my ego wants me to win, but in a weird way, deep down, I kind of know it doesn't so much matter if it's my team or whoever deserves to win should win.
Are you personally hurt when you hit the buzzer and you turn your chair around and then they pick CeeLo or Christina? Like, does that feel like a smack in your head?
Well, no. I mean, I think that it comes down to because it's funny. To me, it comes down to if I want someone desperately,
right?
In my mind, I only missed out on that maybe once or twice.
Right. I noticed this season you were kind of passed on a couple of times. I was surprised you were the winner the last time.
I was surprised I was passed on a couple. There were a couple that I really, really wanted that I didn't get. But I think that, everybody else got hip to the whole thing. It was almost kind of like last year. I heard Javier sing, and I think that I might have been one of the first coaches to snap into the competition.
Right.
I kind of thought I got right into it, and I think everybody else we were all deer in the headlights because we were all like,
yeah, because I remember when you got him, you were like, yeah.
Yes, I was like, I got the whole thing.
Yeah.
Done.
By the way, you talk about deer in the headlights. I going into this experience of doing America's Got Talent, Howie and Sharon have been doing it for years.
You must have been kind of like, what?
I walked in and I was like, well, I just figured I watched the show so I'll know what to do. But it's like, I was like, whoa, this is a whole different scene than what I thought it was going to be. And there's a certain learning curve,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe I picked up on it because actually I was just kind of concerned with whether I was even going to be inspired at all.
Mm-hmm.
I was worried that I would find nobody.
But you got caught up in it, didn't you? Because I'm in a lounge arguing with Howie and Sharon about the talent. I realize I'm caught up in this thing. I really want to find big talent.
You can fight the whole thing if it's a good show and it's something that's worth a damn, and you think to yourself, "Wow, this is really special." You get totally wrapped up in it.
Don't you think the prize money on The Voice is a little bit weak? $100,000.
I actually like that because what bums me out, and I don't like the. I don't like how Simon kind of bloated that whole $5 million. I will say I don't like to say bad things because, to be honest with you, we're not in competition, in my opinion, with anything.
Right.
But it's our own little world. But I don't like that. I don't think that if you win this competition, you should be anything other than kind of pushed to get somewhere in a weird way. I feel like I'd rather have that be the beginning or the catalyst to propel you into a career.
In other words, that's your forum to get your career off the ground.
Yeah, you don't want to be. I don't think it's a good thing because I had to go through. I ate a lot of shit for a long time.
Right.
And I feel like
that's important.
Absolutely. You should.
When I was at America's Got Talent, there was a band that came out, and I said to them, I said the Beatles went to Germany for a couple of years. I said, I think you guys need to go do that for a while,
And that's great advice because, this is a generation like the instant gratification generation of like,
I want to be
big tomorrow and all this stuff. But we went on tour in a van for 2 years before we had any success. So.
Aren't these shows though a shortcut in a sense? In other words, maybe someone could really cram and get a huge career going.
If somebody knows what to do after the fact, that usually changes a lot about what happens after the show. Because I can only help for so long. It's in a weird way. It's like, we're dealing with that with Javier Colon right now, the guy who won.
Yeah, he has an album out, right?
And I've talked to him on the phone the other day, and the most important thing, and I'm still helping him out, and I think we're gonna make it all work, but the most important thing is you got to learn how to kind of play ball after the fact. Because look at Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson's a great example of somebody who could sing anything. She amazingly talented, but if she hadn't had the right song,
she would never be
at the right
anything.
time, she might not have had a career.
Right.
Since You've Been Gone is an amazing song.
Right.
It came out right at her absolute peak when she was the hottest she ever was. All eyes were on her, and that is a monster song.
Of course,
if you don't have that to happen at that time, it's really hard to kind of keep people's interest.
Right. The guy who won The Voice, I mean, he's a great singer, but he's got to have a song.
There's a very big difference between what makes someone the winner of a singing competition and there's or an artist.
Were you
that's gonna
annoyed
have a
with
long career.
Randy Jackson? He came out and said, he got a little competitive. He said American Idol or Hitmakers, The Voice, he was knocking you guys. He said The Voice is for people who have been passed over already, and it's giving them a second chance. So,
Yeah,
so
and
that pisses you off.
I thought it was a silly thing for him to say, considering where Randy Jackson came from. Because Randy Jackson, second chance, was American Idol.
Right.
Randy Jackson, I don't care what he says about this, and I love him. I love that guy. He's great.
Right.
But it was a little irresponsible because when you think about it, a guy like Randy benefited so much from America. I mean, beyond so much.
Right.
That I find it odd that he attacks The Voice for being too second chancey. You're like, okay, well, like, look what happened with you, man. Like, that's like shame on you a little bit. It's
Right,
like,
and
man,
also,
you kind of.
why attack those contestants in the sense that they want a break too? Everybody wants a break, and the more the merrier, right?
Absolutely, and also to me the most well-adjusted, kind of balanced, successful people in our business are the ones who didn't have success in the beginning.
What do you some of these shows that come on, these talent, now everybody has a talent competition. Some of them are successful, some aren't. What is the difference? Like, why is The Voice successful and so many fail? Is it the chemistry between the judges?
I think it's for the same reason why I think America's Got Talent's gonna kind of I just feel like because now you guys have your thing going on.
Right.
I think the chemistry at the core of it, if the chemistry's not there, it'll never be able to transcend and be like it's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
That's huge. That has to be there. I think that there needs to be, for lack of a better term, I'll just say gimmick, even though gimmick's a shitty word to use.
Right.
But like there needs to be something that is somewhat left of center of what all the other things do.
Right. The show needs to have something special. You've got the chair and you're mentoring.
And with The Voice, what's cool
right.
about that is like you've got that, and you don't see them, and you turn around, and then once you turn around, the pressure's on them picking you.
Right.
And I don't like the idea necessarily. I might not have done the show if it had just been a thing where I was sitting on a throne and saying, I don't like you, or I like you. But when you become vulnerable as an artist and someone that doesn't need to become vulnerable,
right.
I think that's really cool. I would watch it because it's kind of an interesting twist.
Do you have a spinning chair at home so you can practice?
I do.
You do?
I do. All of my chairs spin.
All right, listen to me. What have we learned today? What have we learned? We just talked for over an hour.
That Adam uses a towel.
And he doesn't use a rubber.
You're so clever how you get in there.
Right.
It's like all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck am I talking about?
So, listen, Annie, you want to plug anything? Besides Adam, do you want to plug any upcoming?
She can't even hear you anymore.
do I
She's
want to
looking
go
at
and
Adam.
pimp myself out?
No, you don't have anything you plug in, a beauty line, products, nothing?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't need it. Look at her. She's on top of the world.
No, I'm doing good. I just finished writing a book though, so I'm
No
excited
kidding.
about that. Yeah.
About Adam's penis. What is?
It's called Average Can Work Too.
Hey, are you average?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, me too. I'm below average. Okay.
Can
What
I
is the
say
book
one thing about
Annie?
penis size? Because you talk about your dick all the time.
Yeah, mine's small. Oh, it's like a
which
button.
is another lie. There's no way.
It's like a button.
You're like a giant person.
No, it's a giant person with a button.
Fuck out of here. Here's my opinion on dicks: is that if it's not the biggest and it's not the smallest, chances are it's all right.
Yeah.
Right?
It's perfect.
When I'm hard,
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You're absolutely right.
When I'm hard, I'm 6 inches, but when I'm soft, like a half an inch.
6 inches hard. There's nothing wrong with that.
Half an inch. Yeah, you got it right. Just like that.
You probably can't even stand
You're
up
a
with
grower.
that
You're a grower, man. You're a grower, not
I'm
a
a
shower.
grower. That's right. That's right. Big deal. Who cares?
It's much more convenient to be a grower and not a shower.
You bet.
You tuck it away,
Adam, so much to talk about. Annie, even more to talk about, but time has run out.
All right. Thanks
The
a lot,
Voice
you
is
guys.
the show. It's always great seeing you. I'm very happy for your success, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
I like the show you're on. I like the choices you're making. I see what's happening.
You're all in the NBC family.
We're in the NBC family. We
I
were
kept
talking
thinking about private
you.
parts when I thought about you joining up. I was like, WANBC.
Oh, yeah, it's weird. I'm at a party. We had a judges' dinner the night before we started shooting America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
And they're like, Howard, welcome to the NBC family. We're so happy to have you. I said, listen, guys, I've been with the NBC family. You fuckers kicked me right out the door.
I was about to say, when I heard you go back to NBC, I'm like, you got to. How's that feel?
But they're like, hey, it's a whole different regime.
And they gave you like a fucking bajillion dollars.
That's right. Let bygones be bygones.
Exactly.
Annie, what is the book going to be about?
It's a children's book.
A children's book?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. You don't even have children and you're writing children's books.
I know. I love children. Though.
It's one up. Yes, you love children, and soon you're going to have one because Adam won't wear a rubber. And he thinks he has some sort of control.
Oh, my God. I can already see this backlash.
No. All right, listen. That's it. And that, too. You ever bring any of your girlfriends around, Adam, or you keep them away?
Oh, absolutely. Of course I do.
Would
I
you
mean,
ever
we're
do-
all like big happy family.
Will you ever do a threesome with Adam?
No.
You won't.
No,
Would you want that, Adam?
I mean,
No.
listen.
Go ahead.
I'm smart.
Wait, what's
That's
the
why
listen,
I wouldn't
Annie?
want that.
Well, I think it's always. I totally respect that. I think it's at one point it's going to get a little weird for
Right.
someone.
Have you ever been with another girl?
No.
Would you like to try it? Are you curious?
No, I'm pretty happy.
No, too bad.
Satisfied, you hear that?
Yeah.
I will say that, yeah. If threesome thing, it's like the grass is always greener. That I don't trust that whole fucking thing.
Take her to a strip
Eventually it's
club.
gonna
Let's see
go.
what happens.
I've never been to one.
Why don't
she
you go
loves
to? I'll
some-
take you to one. Never mind him. No, seriously, take her to a strip club. You know, everybody starts screwing around. They're going to go nuts for her in there, and then before you know it, something's going to happen.
No, it's,
You know.
it's a slippery slope, all that shit.
I know.
Sounds great, but it's not.
Want to know something? I took my wife when she was my girlfriend to a strip club. We went, and it was a disaster.
Yeah,
I
if you really love someone like on that level, you're
the
kinda
girls were like all over her, and I got jealous.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I don't know if I'd like that either.
Yeah.
Kind of pissed me off.
I blew a load in my pants. It's the first time that ever happened to me. I didn't even. No one touched me, and it spontaneously happened.
It's just hard for me to believe that you blow a load
The
under
first
a
time it
minute
ever
having
happened.
sex.
Are you
You have a
dead
small
serious?
penis.
I'm
you're
dead
lying.
serious. I was watching them like go crazy for her, and then like I was kind of like leaning up against her back, and suddenly I blew a load in my pants. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Does that ever happen though? I mean, does it happen when you're like 12 years old? I mean,
Well, they
does
claim
it-
there are wet dreams. I never had one. I only have wet nightmares. All right, look, we've
You
got
wake
to.
up crying and you come all over yourself. Why?
Oh,
dear,
so
what's
much,
wrong with you?
So much. Give my love to CeeLo,
I will.
the country guy, and Christina.
Blake
Shelton.
Blake Shelton.
Blake.
Whatever.
Country
He's
guy.
awesome. You actually would really like to have him on a
I
show.
would
You should
have
try
him on.
again.
Sure,
You really would. He's amazing.
I want to find out if he comes in a towel.
Oh, he'll tell you.
Hell yeah.
He'll be way more honest than me.
I want to meet him.
He'll tell you everything.
All right, look,
tell you
we've discussed a lot, probably too much, and we'll take a break. Let you guys out of here. Go do your thing. You know what I'm saying?
I can't wait to go out. Yeah, Adam Levine comes in towel.
Yeah, it's a headline. We'll be back right after these words. Thank you, you guys.
Thank you. Such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Bye, guys.
Pleasure meeting you. Bye, Ron.
Adam, Annie, that was a marathon.
Shit.
I mean, your longest interview to date, I'd have to.
How's it going? Yeah, my pleasure, man. I love it.
So
is everyone okay?
Annie, may I talk to you for a second?
Sure.
So Adam attempted to sort of warn you about what to expect. Were you adequately prepared for, Howard's line of questioning? And
I mean, I've listened to Howard. I mean, it was really fun. I was really excited to meet him, and I usually I would be really kind of not okay to go to this kind of things, but it happened that it was our last day with Adam, and I don't know, it was really fun. I really enjoyed it.
you said you enjoy the way he, when Adam was attempting to warn you about Howard, you sort of liked Howard's honesty and the way he goes about questioning. Even though you said you might be shy in a normal setting telling the story, there's something about the way Howard asks the questions and brings you into the conversation that you enjoyed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, that is what is fun about the show. But the thing is, you don't have to say anything. I mean, if something that is you're not comfortable with, you totally don't have to say anything. But it's like no one really asks that kind of stuff, and it's fun. It's fun to talk about it because I don't think we said anything too crazy or too dirty or. I mean, it's like a normal, everyday stuff.
No, not at all. But it must be a little bit difficult going from the green room, not sure if he's going to talk to you, and then you're sort of thrown right into the mix.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm kind of, I think I'm like, it's like talking to a friend. I mean, he's a fun person to talk to, and we had the same conversation that I would have as a friend, really much.
He makes it that.
I would probably say more curse words if I was with a friend. I try to refrain myself over
Yeah,
there.
you kept it very PG.
Yeah, I tried.
You walked the line.
But then it was like talks about the towel, and then it's like, oh God, there goes the PG.
Here we go again. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Annie. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you. How'd it go?
I think we survived. How did we do? I did talk about some disgusting shit, but what are you gonna do? It's Howard. He just works his way in there. It's amazing. Next thing you know,
But he's so smart about it because he talks about something so PG and then he goes into like total.
He's pretty good, but then
He's
all of a sudden
really
you're just
good,
talking
and you're
about
like,
shit you never thought you'd talk about. And you're so careful with everybody else. You're like, you think that you're fine, and then all of a sudden you're talking about gross shit. Well, it's fine.
But Adam, you're a big fan. You know that by giving a little bit of being open and honest with him, it leads to a better overall interview. It makes it easier actually on you.
Yeah, he pushed harder this time than he usually did. I think like we were performing and stuff last time. He was a little more in the, we weren't as close and physically when we were talking. He got there. He got what he wanted. We gave him everything.
Well, you attempted to tell one story about how
I couldn't even tell a story about how we
Right.
met. But it was great. It was a great. It was good radio, as they say, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, guys.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
You'll get a raise now.
Wait, maybe.
Good morning, back live from Los Angeles. Your judge, Howard Stern. Good morning. Yeah.
How was it?
Hey, now. So we were feeling so good and everything about everything. And Beth and I were on a sort of vacation there. So she says to me on Saturday, hey, let's go get some tattoos.
She was feeling like she wanted another one, too, huh?
Yeah. Well, we've both been talking about, we love our dog so much, Bianca, that she's 10 now. She's getting old, and she has arthritis. And, we've been very sentimental about her.
Did you take her? Or you leave her home?
No, we left her home. And so she could not handle it.
Oh.
And so, I mean, she's okay. She's just old. And we missed her, and we said, you know what, let's go put her name. We want her name. We love her so much we want her names on us.
Uh-huh.
So all of a sudden I realized that we're just going to... So she goes, let's go to LA Inc. because that's the one on TV. I go, just because it's on TV...
Doesn't mean it's good.
Sometimes that can mean it's shitty,
right.
Because who knows? We don't know just because it's on TV. So it dawns on me, we're just going to go to some tattoo place. We don't know anybody. So I quickly got on the line to Mark. I wrote an email to Mark McGrath because he's got tons of tats.
Uh-huh.
And Bob Harper, the trainer from...
from Biggest Loser.
Biggest Loser.
You're all over this NBC family, aren't you?
Yeah. I figure, hey,
like everybody's talking to each other?
Yeah. I go, hey. So but meanwhile, none of them get back to me right away. So Beth works on some TV show now. It's called, it's on home, what's it called?
HGTV?
HGTV.
Mom Caves?
Mom Caves.
Mm-hmm.
And our co-host, he's not the co-host, he's the contractor who builds the Mom Cave.
Okay.
He's some real good-looking dude.
Of course. They always have a good-looking carpenter.
And Beth goes, oh, he's got tons of great tats. Let's get in touch with him. He'll tell us because he got his tats in L.A. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on
what's
here?
going on in Mom Caves, huh?
Mom Caves.
I better go to a taping of that.
Right. Yeah, go there. See what he's doing. I keep hearing about this guy and how good-looking he is.
Uh-huh.
So, anyway.
He had the recommendation?
He had the recommendation.
Where'd you go?
Ronnie, what's the name of the place we went to?
Because, another person who has a good tattoo artist is David Arquette. I can't believe you didn't call him.
I didn't call him, but then McGrath got back to me, and so did Bob Harper, but it was already too late. We were at the tattoo joint.
Yeah. Everybody had a different recommendation.
This guy Connor did our tattoos. He owns the place. And we go in. You got to hear this. This is so crazy. This is why Twitter is dangerous. We're in L.A. We're getting tattooed. Ronnie goes over with us. And Ronnie's nuts. Ronnie just sees a picture on the wall.
And says, put it on me?
He goes, put that one on me. And it's this. But meanwhile, it was beautiful.
Fun of me now.
No,
You thought it was you thought it was nice.
I'm saying it's just, but you're wild like that. Like I could never make that decision that quickly.
The tattoo guy artist, okay, was Timeless Tattoo.
Timeless Tattoo. The guy's name was Connor.
West Hollywood.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Connor and Tawny.
Yeah.
Guy who did mine. He had drew this crazy skull.
He had drawn. By the way, your grammar is so fucking bad.
He had drew.
This guy, you know what? By the way, you got to read his Twitter. Do you follow him on Twitter?
I have to start following him. I don't know if I do or not.
me?
I don't know if I do.
What's wrong with you? He can't spell.
I follow you.
Not only can he spell, but what was the word Ronnie was
Turmoil.
using? Turmoil.
What did
Look
he
at it.
say?
Here, watch this. Look at this. What's wrong? The block party babies are causing major TERM. Then a separate word, oil.
Term oil?
Term oil here.
Oh, my goodness.
Did you learn how to spell it?
Yeah, TURM.
Yeah, TURM.
Right.
What?
And it's one word.
It's one word.
TURM oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's one word, Ron.
All right.
Don't use.
What did you think term oil was before you...
What I think it was?
Yeah.
I know what turmoil is.
It's like the end of term and oil or
No,
something?
I see his Twitter, and it's term.
It's causing trouble, is what it's
Yeah,
doing.
term oil.
Yeah, but why would it be...
Shuley was causing turmoil.
His you talk to him, you could lose all sense of the English language.
Let's get back to the
He's got his own language.
Ronnie.
It works
How
for
the
me.
fuck did you get out of high school?
It works for me.
Yeah.
You want me to bring in my diploma? I'll show it to you.
Yeah, but the report card is what I want
Where's
to see.
that school? Is it closed?
Class clown. Class clown. You don't know how many times my parents got called up for being a class clown.
Before we get to your tattoo, we go to the tattoo place, and the guy goes, we see there's a bench to sit on, but we realize it's not a bench. The guy goes, oh, that's a coffin.
What?
It's a baby coffin.
No, it wasn't a baby coffin.
I know. I thought he said it was a baby. They're getting a baby coffin.
What are you talking about?
It's a coffin, like you die
In the tattoo place?
Yeah. They use it as a bench to sit on, which is kind of cool.
And a storage thing. They have all the magazines inside.
Right.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, and now they're getting a baby coffin, which was we were like, hey, I thought that
That
there
is
was.
so sick.
I said, where's the baby coffin?
I want to sit on it.
Well, I want to put Ronnie in it. So anyway, I bet you Ronnie would fit in a baby coffin.
I bet.
Stop it.
So the coffin's there. I open up I say, Ronnie, get in there. So Beth goes, he's not going to get in there. I go, yes, he is. He doesn't give a shit. So he gets in the coffin, and I take a picture of him.
Lying there.
And it's funny as hell, so I tweet it.
Uh-huh.
There it is. That's the one. That's Ronnie in the coffin.
Oh, that's hysterical.
And I wish it was a baby coffin.
I want you to be wearing that shirt for real at the end.
Yeah. So I tweet it. Well, 2 seconds later, I start getting tweets back. Howard, that's disrespectful. Whitney Houston's funeral's going on, and
what
you're
does that
tweeting
have to do with Whitney?
that like we're making fun. Like there's Ronnie in the casket.
Like you looked at Whitney and then said, "Put Ronnie in a casket."
I didn't even know Whitney's funeral was going on. I was at a tattoo place with a coffin, and I thought it was funny. But people are such assholes on Twitter. You know, they you can't have fun with them at all.
Right.
I'm like, that's it. I'm done.
You always say that.
Yeah, right. By the way, Ronnie looks good in a casket, it turns out.
Actually, he looks pretty good.
Right? Yeah. It looks better in a casket than walking around.
Right.
He looks sort of mummified.
He looks natural.
He's smiling. When do you ever see him smile?
You know, when you go to the funeral parlor and everybody says, he looks good.
You know, they always go, what's Ronnie's look? Now we found it.
Coffin.
Lay it in a box.
So, anyway, like there's just a drawing on the thing. I said, Ron, so he saw, it's a skull with a grasshopper coming out.
He loves his skulls.
It's a skull, but it doesn't look like a skull. It was a really cool drawing, and there's a grasshopper coming out of the skull's eye.
Oh,
It's a
God.
cricket.
Yeah, cricket. And it was pretty cool.
And the eyeball falling out of the other socket.
Right.
It's really cool.
Beautiful.
It is.
He's admiring it. I was actually admiring the drawing. He goes, hey, could you put that on my arm? I said, yeah, I'll pay for it. So I bought him his tattoo. This is the second tattoo I bought for him.
Really?
The first one and the last one.
Yeah. Show her your
that's it?
tattoo.
I think so, yeah.
Where is it? Where'd you get this one?
Right here, my forearm.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Helps.
Hey, he's got to take off his whole coat.
Yeah, that helps.
Hey, can I take something up with you, though, man? Something weird's going on. I think I'm going to have to yell at you about it.
What?
Okay. So I get this call from, I got an email from Dan, the song parody man.
Yeah.
And he said to me, Howard, oh, yeah, there's your tattoo. Show it to Robin. See? He's got it's a skull, but it doesn't look like a skull.
It doesn't look like a skull.
Right.
Look at it at the right angle.
Yeah, I'm looking at it at a weird angle. The light's hitting it wrong.
But Ronnie doesn't
I'll look
even-
at it later.
Ronnie doesn't put any thought into it. He's just like, put that on my arm. I don't care where you put it.
Because right now it looks like a blue blob.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the guy drew it.
Yes.
And he had it it was in a picture frame.
Yes.
It wasn't like something they had in the magazine.
Right.
And he never did it before. He's never put it on anybody.
There might have been a
it's
reason
like
for that.
one-of-a-kind thing.
Well,
So I thought it
anyway.
was cool. I thought it was cool. It was different.
So here's something I got to take up with you real quick.
What?
So Dan the Song Parody Man writes me an email.
Right.
And he says, hey, Howard, Beecher's Madhouse got a phone call saying that you're coming in tonight. Howard Stern is coming in. And
No. See,
let me finish.
Wait a minute. Let him
Hold
tell
on, let me
us,
finish. I'll
tell
tell you
us
what I heard.
he got.
Go ahead.
Beecher's Madhouse said they got a call that Howard wants to come in tonight with a group of people. And Dan just wanted me to confirm that it was me, that it wasn't a hoax.
Right.
So I wrote him back. I said, it's a hoax.
It's not me.
I'm not coming in. Someone's using my name. So this is the story I got. Okay. When the people show up who did the hoax, it's these two hot chicks, and Ronnie's with them. Ronnie, the limo driver, Mund.
Huh.
So they say to him,
It
wait.
is Howard Stern.
Yeah. And so it was like, they go, well, this was for Howard Stern. Why did you do that? This and that, the other thing. So they threw him out.
Oh.
And
No, we didn't throw us out. We walked out.
You walked out.
We walked out.
Well, why'd you?
It wasn't in your name. That was the whole thing.
They were contacted. Howard Stern was mentioned.
Here's what it was.
How was Howard Stern mentioned? Dan wrote me an email.
Let me tell you what happened.
All right, go ahead.
Okay? It was this Tiffany Granite from the Playboy Channel
Yeah.
called up.
Go ahead.
And made a reservation with some guy named Eric Espinoza.
Okay.
Okay? Saying that she wanted to come in with her friend from the Howard Stern show.
Well, there you go.
Didn't mention Ronnie at all.
Yeah, me.
It's
yeah,
meant
me.
Ronnie.
No, she said me.
Yep.
Not
from the
you.
Howard Stern show.
Right, that she was coming in with me from the Howard Stern show.
She shouldn't do that.
What?
Listen to me. Don't let your friends do that.
I didn't
they
know
thought it
she
was the
did it
Howard
that
Stern
way.
show.
I knew when we walked in that's how it was.
Yeah, but do
there
me a
wasn't-
favor.
All
Because
right.
you're doing good. I don't want you to fuck this
No,
up.
no, I'm not.
Tell your little friends.
Why
You
do
know,
you have so many friends?
He's busy. This guy doesn't go to bed till 3 in the morning.
friend.
He is
What- it was
L.A.
one- that was the
always
one
going to
night.
get you
Well,
into
whatever.
trouble.
Saturday night was the only night I went out because that was it. We were done and
Right.
everything was finished and we went out.
But then you go on Twitter. You're bashing Beecher's Madhouse.
Because they treated us like garbage.
But Ronnie, because the person you didn't make the call. They called up and said they're coming in from
I
the
had
Howard
nothing to do
Stern
with the
show.
call. I didn't even know about the call.
The owner flew back because he heard I was coming in.
You caused them a lot of trouble.
I didn't cause anything.
You got to tell your friends not to say how. The name Howard Stern and your friends should not be the same.
Understood, but I didn't know
So
anything
what are you
about it.
trashing the guy for? What did
Because
he do
they
wrong?
treated us like shit.
Yeah, because they were
All right,
pissed.
all they had to do was say, hey, listen, you know.
They made the reservation under false pretense.
I didn't know.
That ain't cool.
I didn't know that.
And I know it because Dan wrote me beforehand. Yeah.
I read the note. Does Ronnie realize that the doorman that he yelled at was actually Beecher?
Yeah, that was Beecher. And he was pissed. He flew all the way back from, I don't know where he was. He was on business somewhere. From Vegas. Because he heard I was coming in.
Well, boo-hoo for
Yeah, because
him.
he was.
Yeah, because he's pissed.
He didn't have to be so nasty. Though.
Yes, he does.
Why? He
was
went
lied
back
to.
from
Hold on a
Vegas.
second.
He was lied to. He was lied to.
Yeah, well, then how come we were up in the restaurant 15 minutes later?
Yeah.
He sent some like PR girl up to us.
Because he was nervous.
Apologizing and then wanted us to come to the show. And we said, no, we don't want to go now.
Yeah, because he was nervous. He hears Howard Stern and he thinks he's going to get, you know, they even wrote a note and said, listen, I've always treated the people from the Howard Stern show to all kinds of things. He goes, I was told Howard Stern was coming in. I ran back from Vegas.
Nobody.
Yeah, but your friends shouldn't say
I didn't
anyone.
know what
Just
Howard-
tell your friends to make their own reservation and not to mention
Well,
Howard
that's what
Stern.
I was under the assumption.
Well, don't be under an assumption
That
because
she
your
put it-
friends
she
are
put it under
using
her
my
name.
name.
Why aren't you yelling at your friend?
Yeah, you yelled at Beecher. You should have said to this girl, hey, fuck nuts, don't mention Howard Stern to get into places.
I didn't know she did that.
Well, don't. You know,
He's
if you
still
wanna
not
be,
angry at her.
Oh, no.
Because she's a hot chick.
Right.
What do you mean angry?
I want you to tweet today something nice about Beecher.
Wow.
And something bad about her.
And something bad about her.
David said shit about him, too. So
Well, that's
when
his
he saw
business.
it.
So let him tweet that. Listen, you're out there When you're rolling with me,
all right.
But
I didn't know
you did so good the whole trip. You told that guy no pictures. You know what I mean? You were professional. Was proud of you.
And then you had to go out.
Then you
I
go
went out
out.
one
and
night.
When we travel now, no going out.
All right.
Stay in.
No
that way you
problem.
don't fuck up.
No problem. I got no problem with that.
All right.
Oh, let him go out in San Francisco.
He's a lunatic. He does so good, and then he fucks
He
up.
has to.
I didn't do it.
You do so well, and you screw it up.
I didn't do it.
Ronnie, please take responsibility.
All right, I did it.
You had a friend who did something wrong.
Okay, but I didn't know the friend did something wrong.
And then Ronnie was there, made a scene. According to the email, he yelled at Beecher, "Go get Jeff Beecher, you loser."
Oh.
Yeah. He's a big shot.
No, I did not.
You can't be a big shot with my name associated. Just remember that. It's going to blow everything.
All right.
Not going to be able to take you with me.
All right.
You know. You understand.
All right.
You want to be like the bodyguard from that Whitney Houston movie, or you want to be...
All right. I was...
All right. Melrose, you're on the air.
Oh, Howard, thank you for the amazing time. I had the most fun of my life.
Was Melrose there with signs?
Yeah, he fit right in. This was the one place Melrose looked normal.
No signs. He had no
Yeah,
signs.
no, I saw a sign. I saw him with the sign outside.
Yeah, but not inside.
They probably took
Hold it up, Ronnie. I didn't want you to yell at me, Ronnie.
They probably took it away from
yell
him.
at you.
Why do they take away signs? That's kind of fun that you have signs.
Well, I
There
didn't
were
want to
people with
overdo it,
signs.
but-
Up in the
Were there?
balcony, I saw people with signs.
Yeah.
Now you tell me. Did you hear me saying hello to you, Ronnie?
Yeah, I heard you, dude. But I can't come over and walk over and say hello to you.
He was like a sentry. He wouldn't even speak, huh?
No, he did well. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Then he
that's
goes out and with his
fantastic.
little friends from the Playboy Channel, and he fucks everything up. And he's yelling at Beecher, and he's tweeting. Beecher's a fucking...
Well, why didn't Beecher just say something to me like, hey, you're not here
Because
with
he was
Howard?
pissed off. He was told...
But I didn't do anything
He
to
was
him
scammed.
until he started acting like an ass.
He was scammed. And you should tell your friends, you should call them and say, hey, you fuckers, don't use Howard's name.
I will, now
from the
that I know.
Howard Stern
Now that I
show.
know.
I mean, what is that?
I'm telling you, he'll be so nice to that girl, she'll never know she did anything
Oh,
wrong.
baloney.
She'll never know she did anything
Yeah.
wrong.
Because she's got big tits.
Oh, she does have big tits.
Yeah, Melrose?
You were brilliant as a judge. Brilliant.
A lot of fun, a lot of fun.
You were. The chemistry was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was good. You know what? I'm so glad I decided to do this job. I really am. It was good.
Can I just say one
Did you have a good time, Ronnie, or was it like kind of work for you?
It was all work, but you know what? Everybody's so nice there that you don't feel like you're really, working that hard.
Right.
It made
everything
work a
it
pleasure?
It runs like a machine. It's great.
They
It
got
really
that thing
is.
down to a science. I mean, you got to move
awesome.
in and out these acts, and some of them have huge setups.
Uh-huh.
Like when you get guys who are like these skater dudes, and you got to set up these massive...
Skater dudes?
Yeah, you know.
skaters and bicycles, and they had
Yeah,
the
you know.
ramps.
Bicycles? What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, it's not just musicians.
It's
But
everything.
bicycles?
Yeah.
What
Well,
is that entertainment?
oh, here's Beecher. Wait a second.
Ooh.
And now he's up at this time of the morning?
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Howard. How are
Yeah, let
you?
me apologize because Dan, the song parody man, sent me an email and said, hey, did you, that someone called up obviously and gave you fake information and said I was coming in.
Yeah, and I flew back from my vacation.
Oh, you were on
Of course,
vacation.
Because Howard, you're a god, and of course I'd be there to greet you because you've been so amazing to me and my company for a decade, thinking it was you, and then we found out it wasn't you.
It was Ronnie's friend, and Ronnie is with him.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go over this with him. Do you have a guy named Eric Espinoza working for you, Espinosa or
I know we
something?
can go through 10 names. The bottom line is the girl that was with you.
Tiffany?
claimed
Wait,
it was Howard
Tiffany?
coming.
Can I
Tiffany
talk
said
for
it
a
was
second?
Howard.
Well, let's
Can I-
hear what Jeff has to say.
Yeah,
we
but
heard
can
your
I-
thing.
He has to get her another mention.
Yeah, right. You don't mention her. Do me a favor.
All right.
All right. What is it, Jeff, you were saying?
She's the
So
one who
this
made it
girl
all.
said Howard's coming in with people from his show.
Right.
That was what she said. So I come in to greet you, of course. And then Dan told me last minute that it was all make-believe. So at that point, I just wanted to face the person that would put this whole
Hold on
lie
a second.
together.
Did you hear what he said? Your little friend there
I
calls up
didn't
and says
know that,
Howard's
okay?
coming in because she wants VIP
Am I
treatment.
supposed to know that? I didn't know that.
Know your friends.
No, who are you hanging with? Big shot.
So,
Should see him walking around there.
Yeah.
so then, I just wanted
You walk around like you're 2 feet
Who
tall.
was I walking around with?
What?
Who was I walking around with?
I don't know. I see you
The
walking
whole
around.
time I was with you. Who was I walking
You're
around
walking around with me.
I was walking around. I hung out most nights with Don and Tony.
Right. Yeah, you're all having a party. Well, I'm working.
No,
Go
it
ahead.
was after work.
So it was with these two middle-aged ladies, and they were like drunk, belligerent, obnoxious, screaming, "You don't know who we are. We're going to bury you on the radio. Tell them, Ronnie. Tell them, Ronnie." Ronnie's like, "Yeah, we're going to bury you." And they started calling me a penguin.
Oh, wow.
No, I didn't call you a penguin.
Ronnie.
She called you a penguin.
Wow, Ronnie.
But I know you said you're going to bury him on the radio. You got to
No,
stop
I did
it.
not say.
Yeah, I heard about
She
this.
said she would bury him on the radio.
You didn't say
I
that?
said Twitter.
Well, you
Oh,
said
you got to bury him on Twitter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then how come he said?
But do you see why he's pissed?
Yeah, but why didn't he just say to me, "Hey, listen, dude, I thought Howard was coming."
I'll get to that. I'll get to why I did say that.
You treated me like I was some kind of piece
All right,
of shit.
Beecher, go ahead
Just
on.
talk to me normal and say, "Hey, listen, we thought Howard was coming."
This radio show, Howard's show, literally made my career for 10 years.
All right, but Jeff, go ahead with what happened the rest of the
I
night.
would do anything for anyone on the show. These girls were so obnoxious.
Of course.
And the way they lied and they made a reservation name and they wouldn't even own up to it when I was like, "Guys, listen, you busted. It's not happening." Then they started screaming and attacking me, and then they started screaming, "Go get Jeff Beecher." So at that point, I was like, "All right, this is a wrap. These guys are crazy and they're all drunk. I'm just going to get the fuck out of here."
Were you
That
guys
was
drinking?
I had one drink before we went.
Oh, okay.
That was it.
All right. All right, Jeff, thank you for that explanation. That's why the guy was pissed. He came back from vacation from
Yeah,
me.
you're still not even making an allowance for that. The guy flew back from his vacation.
But you were on vacation, Ronnie. Let me put yourself in Jeff Beecher's
Why did he say that
shoes.
to me? He just looked at me like it was
Because he was scammed. He doesn't know what you're up to.
And he was scammed. I didn't
How's he supposed to know?
He said to me, didn't he just say this girl called and made the reservation? I didn't know.
Well, how does he know you didn't know, and you don't know what she
Right,
did?
exactly. I didn't know.
Yeah, but then you're bad-mouthing the guy. Get some information before you
he
bad-mouth
could have said to me.
Again, you're telling him what he
Listen,
could have
Jeff,
said.
you could have
What about your friends
Wait a
taking
second.
responsibility?
Wait, yeah, oh, fine. Let him take responsibility. But I didn't know about it. He could have taken me on the side and said, "Listen, these girls are belligerent. I thought Howard was coming. I'm sorry. You know, we're not going to let you in."
If I had come off my
say, "Get the
vacation,
fuck outta here."
I'd be pissed.
If I had come off my vacation to meet Howard Stern and you showed up,
Well, that's what happened.
I didn't. Listen, I
The
didn't
guy
know the
came
guy
from-
was. I
Ronnie.
didn't know the guy was on vacation.
Ronnie, you're in
I didn't-
Vegas. You're in Vegas.
I'm
You
not
get
in
word that Howard Stern's coming into your establishment, and you leave your vacation to take care of him, and then you find out Ronnie the limo driver's little friends have,
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. You keep blaming it on me. I didn't know.
Well, you gotta say something to your friends now. You gotta go back
don't
and say,
let other
don't
people
use,
make reservations for you.
say, don't use my boss's name because
I didn't know
basically, I know you.
Howard.
I don't know her.
She told me she put it under her name.
Well, was that the case, Jeff?
Not even close.
Right.
Well, that's
And,
what.
and
that's what
Ronnie,
I,
I'll accept it.
that's what I.
Twitter
That's why I was.
apology, Ronnie.
That's what I was told. Okay.
Where is your apology?
Where's your Twitter apology? Go back now and compose.
I can't tweet during the show. I'll do it later.
I'm giving you special permission.
I'll do it later.
All right. All right, Beecher. Later.
I'm going back to sleep. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
You're bad-mouthing the guy in his place.
You're terrible.
You're out of control. You're
Why
out of
couldn't the guy
control.
talk to me normal?
Because he was pissed.
That's not my fault. I didn't know.
No, but your friends are putting you in that position. That's the point. You're not. You never get it.
I got it. I do.
No,
I
you
got
don't.
it.
No, because you keep saying this guy should have been reasonable.
Well, he could have talked to me like a
Something
human.
unreasonable happened to him.
Talk to you like a human.
Oh, Robin, come on now. He could have talked to me
Big
like
shot.
a human being.
Oh, stop
shot.
it.
Tell me, get
If
the
I
fuck
had paid
outta
money
here.
to come home and you were standing
I
there,
didn't know that.
Well, he didn't know it either.
Well, I didn't know it either. So why am I being the one?
He didn't tweet anything bad
chastising
about
this
you
whole
could at
fucking
least
thing?
understand instead
I
of screaming
understand.
that he could have
You're
done
fucking
something
screaming.
different.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. With
It's
the foul
always
language.
this way with Ronnie.
Yeah, always this way with Ronnie. You're always there with the what happened with the new Robin? What, she go out the fucking window now?
No, I'm not emasculating you. I'm
Yeah,
trying to talk
bullshit.
to you.
the new Robin. Where is the new Robin?
There's no goddamn new Robin, believe me.
Right.
That's bullshit.
You're damn right there's not. All right, I tell you what, I'm going to take a break.
Look, I did another one of those seminars. I think guys
Yeah.
are awesome.
Yeah, right.
You're awesome.
Yeah, thank
when
you.
you're sane.
Right. Anyway, when we get back, I'll get to the phones. We'll talk to some folks.
I'm the asshole.
You
now
go tweet.
you're talking.
Yeah, I'm not tweeting till after the show.
Right. But it was fun, wasn't it?
I have no idea.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's great. I'm looking forward to the next trip.
All right, thank you. Please don't go out with any of your
All right.
girlfriends.
No, I don't know anybody in San Francisco.
Ah, good, good. Goodbye. He doesn't know anyone in San Francisco, thank
He can't
God.
get into trouble.
Right. Oh, he'll get into trouble.
Oh, you know there's some strip club he knows in
Yeah.
San Francisco that he can find somebody to get him
Right.
into trouble.
Yeah, after I got my tattoo, I was like Beth goes, oh, let's tweet pictures of our tattoos. I go, you know what? I prefer not to because I feel good about my tattoo. I don't need about
You
a
don't
million assholes writing me back saying, oh, you fucking asshole. You fucking tattoo.
What
Fuck
kind
you.
of fucking tattoo
That's
is that?
bullshit. Fuck you. Fuck this. I'm not sharing.
But then you did.
No, she tweeted hers. I didn't tweet mine.
I thought there were pictures of both of you getting tattoos.
Getting, but I didn't want to show
Oh,
mine.
okay.
It's bullshit.
You didn't show the finished product.
I came this close to getting an America's Got Talent tattoo. That's how happy I was.
Wow. Now, where did you put the tattoo?
On my wrist.
Let me see. Oh, how cute.
No, it's just cute. I'm cute. Everything about me is cute, Robin.
Ron, you've probably been told since you were a young lad, you got to watch who you associate yourself with. You got to.
Oh, stop it. You're talking like you can
pick your friends, but you
talking
can't
like a
pick
total
your friend's
moron
nose.
now.
I mean, I'm sure you've heard this
Dude,
type of advice since
You know
were
what?
young.
Talk like a normal person, or don't talk to me, because you're talking like an idiot now.
Oh, this is what
It's
Jeff from Beecher's Madhouse got. The same type of
No, I
talk
didn't
to me
talk
like
to
a
him.
person.
I didn't talk to him.
How did he speak to you? Give me an example of the types of things he said.
We're going to take a break.
I'll see you later.
Ron, can I finish?
You're finished. If you're going to ask dumb questions like that, you're finished.
No, I'm just saying, probably since a young age.
Here we go again.
You were taught, be careful about who you associate yourself with, and then especially, you didn't let me finish.
Dude, these are girls. They were fine. They had a couple of drinks in them, okay? I didn't know they made the reservation mentioning Howard, okay? Let's get that straight for the 97th time, okay?
Okay.
The reservation was under the name Tiffany Granite, as far as I knew, okay?
In the aftermath of this incident, what did you say to Tiffany?
With the way I was treated, I didn't say anything to her. I was treated like shit. I'm a human person. You could have fucking said something to me like, take me on the side and say, listen, we thought Howard was coming. Tiffany made this reservation under her name, but must have said that he was coming. I had no idea about that. Okay? And I didn't know it was Jeff Beecher, because I know Jeff Beecher from a hole in the wall that I was talking to. And to be told to get the fuck out of here, that it's not fucking happening like that, well, then you're going to get talked to the same way you talk to me.
I don't need all. But as far as Tiffany sort of put you in a precarious position, I mean, that's not fair on her part.
Dude, I didn't know this until we...
I know, but in retrospect, now that you
all
look
right,
back
so
at
now
it,
I know, okay? So what is that?
so what will you say to her? She kind of got you in trouble with your boss.
Well, I'll talk to her later about it, okay? I'll discuss it with her, not you.
It's amazing what we'll do for a pretty face.
Right. Give me a break.
That's the way it used to be.
This is a Howard TV original production.
On this episode, see what happens when Stern Show staffers get thrown under the bus.
What about...
No one is safe.
Do you feel as if he threw you under the bus?
Give me a fucking answer.
That is a bunch of bullshit.
I would guarantee.
What's your problem?
Testing 1, 2.
Baba Booey.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Around here at the Howard Stern Show, under the bus means when somebody goes behind your back, rats you out to somebody else, and then that information gets on the show.
When somebody gets thrown under the bus on the show, the damage can last forever. There's feuds that have been going on the show for years.
It's like taking your pal who you're hanging out with. Hey, how you doing? Oh, there's a big fucking bus coming. You're right under it. Didn't see it coming. And that's what it is. It's the element of surprise in a scummy way, but funny way.
Working at Stern, it's definitely like swimming with sharks. I mean, everyone is looking for the chance to nail you.
Jason Kaplan and I were talking, and Jason led on to me that he believed that Scott DePace was using the robotic camera to spy on Howard's call screen.
Scott DePace went to the news and was starting to complain about Steve Brandano not letting him know when callers up, certain callers, that they want to put pictures up, like Bobo or Marianne from Brooklyn. To which I commented to the news, I'm shocked Scott needs Steve because he's always using his camera to look at the phone screen.
A Howard 100 News investigation is raising questions about Howard TV director Scott DePace's use of the robotic camera that's perched behind you, Howard. Scott admits sometimes using the camera to focus on Howard's screen that shows the list of callers waiting on the phone. This controversy started because Scott was mad that Steve Brandano didn't give him a heads up when certain people called so that he could have
a good story that you just did. You just did a fine piece of reporting. Thank you. That practice is no longer allowed.
Howard.
That is for my eyes only, not for Scott DePace. I don't want to share who is on the phone, or I don't want to make my screeners uncomfortable with what they write on the screen. There is no reading of my screen anymore.
So Scott DePace was using his cameras to figure out what
I was doing nothing wrong. First of all, I can always...
Do we understand each other?
Yes, Howard, but allow me to tell you something. I can easily go back in Will's office and see the same thing. It's not like I'm spying.
Don't spy on me.
Scott was looking at my monitor where the phone calls come in to judge whether or not Will was stacking the deck against him and things like that. I can't have that go on. I can't have somebody pressuring someone about their job.
No one is to look at the computer screen where I have notes about callers. It's for my eyes only.
This is such a...
I don't.
This is such a crap story.
Listen to me.
What does he think he needs to learn?
One of the things that we as a crew have done in the past, which is simply take one of the cameras and look at Howard's call screener, just so we can see what callers are going to come on, and I can get the pictures prepared to use in my caller boxes for the viewers.
This story is a hard-hitting, factual case. You admitted it, Scott, on the phone yesterday.
I told you
trained
if we had done it.
camera on Howard's call screen. Those are the facts. I didn't read anything into the facts. The facts are that you trained the robotic camera on Howard's call screen occasionally, in part to see who's calling in about you.
How can you dispute that?
How is that? What about that is not factual?
What is, first of all, I didn't hear half of what you said because I was running down there. But I explained to you 10 times that if we had done it maybe 10 or 20 times, maybe once I looked.
He's using the tools that we give him for the show so he could spy on the show, and that's just not a cool thing.
I spoke to the guys who work the phones, and I said, okay, so tell me, guys, how many times would you say Scott has called you because he's seen a call on the screen about him,
right,
and he's complained about it? And they said 10 to 15 times.
That is a bunch of bullshit.
I would guarantee.
What a maniac! He was like Herman Munster. He's like, no.
He's got real evidence.
Here's a guy who's been made fun of 1,000 times and been called an ape and gorilla and a beaver, and now he's going to make fun of me. Whatever.
I would prefer that you not train your
I don't train
camera.
anything. Usually it's Phelan doing it on his own.
He started to bring my name into it, saying that, it's mostly me that looks at the monitors, not him. And I guess he was looking for some heat off of him.
9 times out of 10, when I see something on the screen, it's not because I asked to see it. It's because Phelan had done it, and I happened to see it.
Do you feel as if he threw you under the bus?
Yes and no. He got my name out there, which is nice. Anybody that follows me on Twitter, that's Bri Phelan, 121212. but I don't get offended or upset like he does. So, you know, there's a way to play it. And if you don't say anything, then nothing becomes of it. When you start throwing your hands up in the air and start banging the studio around like a 5-year-old, then you're going to get called on it.
I was interviewing Brian Phelan.
Yeah, what did he say? I know what you were interviewing about. Me supposedly throwing him under the bus. I didn't throw him under the bus. I just stated a fact. Okay. Yeah. End of story, right?
It's your ass. You're getting run over. Phelan's just waiting for another bus, all right? It'll come to him. Don't worry. But take it like a man.
That's what he said.
He said, I can't wait for Scott to find out Jason leaked the story.
Leaked it? Yeah. I don't know if it's leaking when you go right up to the news and say, hey, you guys should do this story.
Jason doing that, that's a home run. That's why Jason's a good guy. He comes to me with stuff that I know is going to work on the air.
I just reported on something I noticed, and Howard told him to not look at the screen anymore. So clearly Howard thinks he doesn't need to look at the screen, and that's good enough for me.
You said there's a guy, that guy Vinny's on the phone. Right. He's saying something mad about me. You know within 30 seconds when it's up, so you scan it and you complain when people say bad stuff about you.
So what?
Where's the
give
lie
me an example. What do I say?
I just gave you an example.
So I say, don't. Hey, Will, please don't put that guy up.
You say lower the phone call.
Fucking ridiculous.
Well, you're gonna call me a liar. You call me a liar.
You are lying.
Okay.
You're totally lying.
I'm not
You've
lying.
Never done that.
I was so mad at Jason, I decided to take what little things that I had on him and turn that into a news story.
I was in the coffee room, and the intern said they're getting 2 cups back. Are these Benji's again? Because no, I already got Benji's. These are for Jason.
Are you sure they're for Jason?
Well, I don't know, but that's why you need to verify and then tell Howard. Because that's
Howard
great.
anything.
Oh, come on.
I'll throw my people under the bus.
You throw me under the bus? Here's the story. Okay. I've witnessed more than one occasion Jason having interns go back and get coffee for him.
That's true. I've seen it.
They go to college, and here they are being interns, and that fat, lazy ass can't go get his own fucking coffee.
So DePace claims that Kaplan uses interns to get coffee. And the fact of the matter is, Kaplan does use interns to get himself coffee, along with other members that are actually in the studio.
Guys, who knows how to get coffee? You? Got 2 large black coffees. Hey, when you make them, how many little cups do you use? 1. All right, use 2 per cup, okay?
2 per cup.
Yep. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Do we want on my desk? Thank you.
But then what happened was DePace took it a step further and said, I'm not sure that Kaplan's boss, Gary, would feel very good about him sending interns out for coffee. So, of course, then I go to Gary, and it backfired on Scott.
You're Jason's boss. What are your thoughts on Jason having interns bring coffee?
Well, my first thought is what goes on in my office is none of Scott's business, so he shouldn't comment on it. And I know that they send interns out to get them breakfast every morning. So, you know, he should figure out how to direct the show instead of figure out what Jason's up to.
This is part of this escalating war between Jason and Scott DePace. Scott was also claiming that Jason is misusing his power by sending interns to get coffee for him.
When that story came up on the air, Howard backed it up 100%.
Jason is very busy during the show.
Yeah, he records everything that happened.
And I have him doing 20 different jobs, and if he needs a cup of coffee, I'm okay with that.
Wow, shocked.
Why are you shocked?
He has time during the commercial breaks to go get a cup of coffee.
No, he doesn't. I think it's just ridiculous that a grown man with, you know, although he is a fat guy, who can't walk 25 feet to go make his own coffee.
He's obsessed with me.
I know.
He's obsessed with me.
You've been trying to tell him, get me in trouble for everything possible.
You're obsessed with me, Scott.
Tit for tat, then Jason, fat fuck piece of shit, then tried to get me in trouble for working on my Video Caddy website at work.
Well, Scott, you were right. I send the interns to get coffee in the morning. For Fred, Benji, for myself, sometimes for other people here, sometimes for the guests. It's part of their job. If we want to go down this road, I can certainly start reporting some of the things that Scott has people do. Why don't you ask Scott DePace about how many hours at work he spends working on the Video Caddy website?
Jason Kaplan went on the record to suggest that, Howard, you should get a piece of the company because the work was done on your time and your dime.
Scott, is that true?
Howard, we've talked about this in the past, and if it happened once or twice, that was it, and we've already talked about it, so this is an old story. I have not worked on a website in a year. When someone pisses me off, I don't generally talk to them for, it takes me a few days at least. In the case of someone like Jason Kaplan, who's thrown me under many times, at this point, I still don't want to talk to him, and it's been a couple years now.
If you want to come back and say something else at me, I'll come back with something else. My back pocket is huge, like everything on me. And I got lots of stuff in my back pocket on everybody. Everybody.
I find myself, for the most part, to be the one throwing people under the bus, although I don't like to do it that often, but you know, when I have a tidbit, I'll pass it along to Howard. I went to dinner with Ronnie almost 2 weeks to the day after the party with Ganji and Richie Wilson.
Right.
And we were talking about the party.
Right.
And he was like, well, I said, you know, we put a clip reel together. We pulled a bunch of clips. He said, what'd you pull? I said, Howard's speech, Robin's speech, JD's poem that he read, you know, from your speech, and your speech. And he said, what the hell are you talking about? I said, don't bust my balls. Stop it. I didn't make a speech. And he was dead serious.
Do you not remember you made a speech at the party? I was there. I remember doing the thing with JD. That's what I remember. Wow. I said up there. That's what I said. All right.
I knew I gave a speech. Did I remember every word of it? No.
This is a man who took me from a limo seat. I've sat in a limo in a broken down limo car. And this man took me.
This was a social, non-work event at a restaurant in his fucking town that he invites me to. And then he throws me under the fucking bus like an asshole.
He doesn't know he made a speech?
He wasn't goofing on us, and he thought we were goofing on him.
There's your speech. You don't remember? Are you excited to hear your speech on the show Monday?
Dude, you're never safe. You're never safe. There's no such thing as safe. It's like constant. It's a constant TV and radio show. Constant.
On Howard's computer, one-way instant message system that we get to send Howard notes on. And a lot of those notes are, hey, prank phone call on GP1 in purple. And so what we'll do with this is Richard and Sal come back and tell us, hey, this specific prank call is on this page in this color.
So Richard and Sal put up a bid. They let me know the bid was up there. I put up a note for Howard.
We did go out on the street and ask people about Gaddafi, and there were several women who actually were upset that he was gone. I mean, I can't imagine. It was wild, right? Let me see. I'll play it for you.
A lot of times when Howard's talking about something, we'll put a bid up. And if he doesn't get to it soon enough, we take it down, because a lot of the pages are congested.
You put up a sign, GP1 in white. There's nothing in white.
Is this Scott's problem? Is this Scott's mess?
I don't fucking know whose problem it is. I don't know. It gets me annoyed.
Howard calls for the bid. I'm not looking at my computer screen. Gary yells out for the bid. I yell where the bid is. It's in GP1 in yellow, whatever, and the bid is gone. So everybody's confused. Mass confusion.
Who put the fucking note up? Give me a fucking answer.
Richard put the note up.
All right, so where is it?
Column 2, GP1 in white.
GP1 in white is Ronnie Munn inside the actor's studio.
GP1 in white.
Is Ronnie Munn, so we don't know what that means.
I don't know. I didn't come in here. Let me get Richard. Hold on.
I need to know who put a note up. I need an answer. Richard. All right, so someone's got to answer the fucking question.
Gary was really pissed. It's kind of like at the zoo when you taunt the apes and they go crazy and get really angry and start throwing their feces at you. If Gary hadn't already taken his morning shit, I think he would have shit in his hand and threw it at me and Sal.
I'm screaming and yelling and nobody's answering. In other words, you put a note up and then nobody knows what it means. You're telling Howard Gaddafi bit and it's Ronnie bit. So it's, I don't understand. Here, come here, look. Right here, Ronnie Munn inside the actor's studio. Yeah. So what does that have to do with the Gaddafi bit?
We had a Gaddafi bit up before and he didn't go to us, so we took it down and put this.
I know, but now, why? I don't understand. If you put stuff up, leave it up. Let me be the final decision on it. I would have taken the bull. Maybe I would have taken it down, but I'm taking shit for something I didn't have control over. I'm the one who's going to get yelled at. Howard, what the fuck is going on? The answer is I don't know, and nobody can answer me.
What do you want? Before you know it, I look like an idiot. Rich looks like an idiot. Gary doesn't want to look like an idiot. He runs into the studio and he makes Howard aware of what just went down.
I want to explain to you, by the way, what went on before, because I lost my voice because I was screaming. Richard and Sal put up a note that they had these Gaddafi things, right? Then they were up for like 45 minutes. I guess you didn't go to them. So then
they were up for 5 minutes.
Well, whatever it was, for some reason, you didn't go to them. So Richard and Sal put something else up and they took them down. And I go, why did you take it down? You never take anything down.
Listen, we got to have a fucking meeting.
I talked to them about it.
The second they put something up, I can't respond to it. It's in my head that it's there.
So they said,
if they put something up during, they have to leave it.
I said that to them. And I said, why did you take it down? And Richard goes, we were out of colors. I said, fucking, there's a million colors. Oh, come on. So I talked to them about it, but I wanted you to understand what happened.
It just makes me sound like a fucking idiot.
I mean, they've never taken anything down before. I don't know what the rush was. The page wasn't even full.
Oh, there was nothing on the page. And then I go there and it's not there.
Here's the difference. I want to know what happened Howard wants to know what happened. Somebody says something in the office, they don't want people to know, and somebody repeats it back. That's throwing a person under the bus. There's a huge difference.
Once I know it's up there, I'll get to it. I might take a half hour to get to it. I might take an hour. I might take 2 hours to get to it. What is the rush to take it down? So once you put it up there, leave it there, and then take it down after the show if I don't get to it.
When we screw up, it hurts. It hurts big time.
Just to keep this from happening again, when we put a song or anything up for Howard to play during the show, we don't take it back down until after the show.
The great thing about having TV cameras here at all times is it no longer is a matter of hearsay. There's actual video evidence that somebody did something stupid.
So Gary and Howard were talking about how Gary botched the vacation schedule and he miscounted.
I'm in a phone conversation the other day. I go, Gary, okay, if we work this week and we work that week, blah, 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 blah. He goes, Wolf, okay, now you have to be quiet. I'm going to count the days that we...
What are you going to fucking... I can count?
Boom, a trigger went off. We have a piece of tape that we got like maybe a year and a half ago of Gary holding up 4 fingers but saying 3. He goes, 3.
We got a great clip of Gary counting wrong.
Every single... You don't even know where you have to be.
Yeah, I know the clip.
We come back there...
Yeah, we have that ready to go. He counts to 3, but he holds up 4 fingers.
I'd like to plan a vacation, too.
Good, plan it.
Fred needs to put up audio.
I'm thinking about going to Costa Rica.
Howard TV has a funny clip of Gary counting wrong.
What?
Yeah. Let me hear that.
I'll go over here and figure it out and come back with a number.
What do you need, a calculator? That's how he does my vacation.
It was 1.
In a courtroom. 3. And he holds up 4 fingers. Listen, that's the guy counting the days.
Do I like doing this stuff? No, but is it part of my job? Yes. And Gary would have done the same thing to me, I'm sure.
That's why we're here today. Did you see 4? He says 3 and he holds up 4 fingers.
That schedule went... I just want you to know, that schedule went through...
Robin, 3.
I don't really remember it that much, and it doesn't seem to bother me that much.
When someone says you have 3 vacation days and holds up 4, it means they're confused. So, I don't know. It's all fun. It's all a good time.
I think in the history of the show, there's been 2 people who have relished the job of throwing people under the bus. For many years, it was Stuttering John, and more recently, I would say it's Jason.
Jason Kaplan.
Jason Kaplan.
Jason Kaplan.
Jason Kaplan. Jason Kaplan.
Jason's the guy.
Jason takes so much pride in it. Like, he enjoys it.
It takes one to know one, and that motherfucker knows buses.
He's great at it. He has a great memory despite all of his use of marijuana.
He loves to throw people under the bus, and he does it to kiss Howard's ass.
You got to watch what you say to him or about him or... fuck what you say about him. He knows he's a fucking prick.
This is an entertainment show. This is like, it's like Survivor almost. Like, who cares? This is what we're here for.